It's all right, it's no problem.
I didn't want to make a big thing of it, but the woman over there, Mrs. Cook, she's been in quite a lot recently with the same sort of injuries. I think she might have domestic trouble.
Reported break-in at Sherwood's Electrical, number 14, Ellington Way. Any units?
Cheers, boys. Come down to the restaurant tonight. I'll buy you a beer.
Right, no chance, Harry. I'm off to Corfu. 7 days of sun, sea and sex.
All units are breaking
I might take that one.
What would I do without you?
Any units?
I'm PC Ackland from Sun Hill. What happened?
It's nothing. I'll just put a bandage on it.
You've knocked your face as well.
It's nothing.
Look, Mrs. Cook, are you in any sort of trouble? I mean at home or anything?
My husband, he won't come in. He prefers to sit outside in the car and listen to the radio.
Confirmed. That vehicle's registered as a white BMW, over.
Thank you, Kathy.
Could you give Stamp and Quinnan a call, please, Kathy? Tell them I'd like to see them.
Do you want to see them now, sir?
No, I've got to go out again. Better make it after the refs. 1800 will be fine.
Sir.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
My name's PC Ackland. I've just been inside talking to your wife. Don't you think she might need a bit of support, Mr. Cook? She's obviously very upset. She's sustained some quite nasty injuries. Do you know how she came by them?
Maybe she fell. I don't know. I just drive the car.
It seems to me, Mr. Cook, that her injuries are consistent with someone who's been assaulted.
Tell you that, did she?
Well, no, she didn't.
No. I thought not.
So you don't know anything about it?
That's right. I was listening to the radio, so if that's all.
You should have clocked his documents, June. Never know, might have forgotten to renew his insurance.
Oh, that's not the point, is it? She's in and out of casualty all the time. Cuts, bruises, all the usual things. And he gets away with it.
Probably too scared to say anything. You want to go round there, give him a fright, set the net curtains flapping.
You fit?
You're keen?
Mum Ro wants to bend our ears.
Do you know, it's funny, I saw Monroe at the hospital today. He was tarting himself up.
Probably having a fling with a sister.
Well, you never know.
Who's having a fling?
Monroe.
It's all taken care of. I'll try and pop out and see you later. OK, bye. Come in. Yes, gentlemen.
You wanted to see us, sir?
Come in.
Oh, sorry, Andrew. I just thought I'd catch you before you went to the business watch meeting.
Oh, come in, sir. This'll only take a minute. Right then, gentlemen. Anyone have anything to say on the subject of carrying unauthorised passengers? You know what I'm talking about, Stamp?
It's against regulation, sir.
Quinnan?
Well, like Tony says, sir.
When I was in Priory Vale today, I saw you giving a lift to a gentleman with some bags of shopping. A gentleman who, as far as I could see, had absolutely no connection with police business whatsoever. Well?
Yeah, it was my fault, sir. It's a bloke we know who's been quite useful in the past, supplying us with the odd tidbit. I just happened to spot him and suggested we give him a lift.
And I just happened to spot you, Quinnan. So, while a call for a reported break-in at Ellington Way went unanswered, you two decided you'd play Good Samaritans and supply your friend with a minicab.
Oh, no, it's no excuse, sir. But we have been to the shop in Ellington Way before. He's got a dodgy alarm bell. He goes off for 3-hour dinner breaks and no one can find him. He's just a...
Pain in the bum. Yes, I'm quite aware of that, Stamp. But that does not give you the right, A, not to answer calls, and B, to carry unauthorised passengers. Do I make myself clear, gentlemen?
Sir.
Sir.
That's the dog and gun. 10 to 15 wedding guests in a brawl. It's all yours.
Received.
You all right, June?
Oh, domestic. Honiton Crescent. That's Ron Smollett's home beat, isn't it?
Yeah, but I doubt you'll drag him out now. He's due to knock off at 6.
No chance he's got a panda.
Could be your lucky day. He blagged the spare.
Brilliant.
330 from Sierra Oscar.
330, go ahead.
Hello, Ron. Ron, it's June here. Look, I know you're about to knock off, but do you think you could do me a favour? Can you come round to Honiton Crescent with me, possible domestic?
Affirmative, June. I was supposed to be going out this evening, but, well, never mind. Now, I'll pick you up as soon as I can.
You're a star, Ron.
Mrs. Cook, we met earlier at the hospital.
Yeah?
This is my colleague, PC Smollett. He's the home beat officer for this area.
Look, I don't want to be rude, but I just got in from work. Look, I'm sorry, I've got to go.
Mrs. Cook, we only want... Mrs. Cook! Mrs. Cook!
I'm sorry, Brown.
Oh, that's all right. Young nephew's birthday. Dare say I'll still make it. What is going on here?
Mrs. Cook!
Mrs. Cook! Sierra Oscar from 330.
Go ahead, Ron.
Urgent assistance required. Committed disturbance in operation. 3500 from Crescent. Careful, Jim, careful.
Laurie.
Okay, all right now. All right.
All right. All right.
Go back, go back.
Is he your son?
Laurie, it frightened him. He thought it was a spaceship.
OK, come on, floor show's over. Off on the please.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Is it over then?
Mr. Cook?
That's right. Have you taken him away this time?
If you mean Mark, yes.
It's for the best. My bolt hole. My refuge.
Were you in here all the time? I think you better come back in the house, Mr. Cook.
They've got itchy feet and big boots! They'll give you a kicking!
No, Mrs. Cook, this way.
Hang on. I want to go to my son.
I'm afraid that won't be possible, Mrs. Cook. He'll be charged and held in custody, awaiting an assessment by a psychiatric doctor and an approved social worker.
What are you charging him with?
He'll be charged with breach of the peace. He smashed your house up.
It's my house.
But he could have smashed you up.
That's a risk I live with.
Would you like to take Mrs. Cook through to the waiting room, please,
Yeah,
Jim?
please let me go to him. I don't want him banging his head on the cell wall.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that, Mrs. Cook.
I mean it. He sees a wall, it's like a magnet to him.
I'll make a note of it.
Please, let me go and see him.
Look, why don't you go round to the front with PC Ackland and wait in the waiting room?
Why can't I go in there?
Because the general public use the front entrance.
I'm not general or public. I'm private and specific.
I know a bloke who could do your windows on the cheap. Your frames will need doing. Why did he do it?
I don't know. I don't know.
But he must have done something before. I mean, what's all this?
That was the last time we ever spoke. Over a year ago. He tried to strangle me. So I kneed him in the groin. And then he came up here and tried to burn the place to the ground. Luckily, the wife was in the bath, so we got some buckets and doused it.
There must be something you can do. You can't go on living like this.
Walk out, you mean?
Oh, no. Social services or somebody. There must be something they can do.
I pay the mortgage and the housekeeping.
and I wash my hands of it. I told her his best chance would be to push him out. Push him onto the state, let them take care of it. We can't. But when it's your only child... In the end, I couldn't do it. I didn't know what to do. So I do nothing.
What did I say, Tone? Business watch. It'll be a piece of cake. He deserves it. Rapping our knuckles like that in front of the Chief Inspector. And when was the last time you saw him using the duty officer's car for personal use then, eh?
Go on in. But don't forget, I'm not the one who's running off to Corfu to escape the flak.
You got bottle, Tony?
Now, Mark, I want you to sign here and here, right? It's just to say you've been advised of your rights.
Look, it's just to confirm what Sergeant Peters has already told you. It's nothing bad, Mark.
You want to take my legs, don't you? She told you I was here, that's why you tried to come and make me sign so I could go in your spaceship. You tried to trick me, I know you...
No, Mark, I haven't, honestly, Mark.
Come on, you prat. Some of us want to see the bride off. Shut up.
Look, would you like to go and lie down, Mark? Be on your own for a bit, eh?
June, do you mind?
Sarge?
You going to sign or not? Right. Refuse to sign. Put him in number 3, Hollis.
Sarge, this is the last thing he needs.
June, if social services decide not to commit him to psychiatric, it's down to the magistrates. Let them get involved, just in case he decides to make a habit of losing his rag.
He's not losing his rag, Sarge, he's losing his mind.
Let's see how far he gets now then.
Obviously not as far as he'd like.
What? Never, not in his car.
Only a bouquet. Love is in the air, Tone. Old Andy's found himself a bit on the side.
Oh, come on, darling, not in here. Back you go. This is a police station.
Look, mate, I hate giving you my name.
What's all that noise?
I'm sorry. It looks like somebody got divorced before they got married. Hopefully...
He won't stand all those people yelling.
No, he's all right, Mrs. Cook. He's on his own. He's very quiet.
Please, couldn't you let me see him? Just for a minute.
No, I'm sorry. I can't. It's the rules. We can't put you at risk. No. But why don't you sit down? How long's he had this problem with road sweepers?
Depends on how he feels. Anything with flashing lights, rumbling noises, all that with uniforms, he thought you'd come to take him over.
Must be a nightmare for you.
You have to have your wits about you. Used to fly at those bin men twice a week. We sit in the kitchen now, curtains closed, and listen to some of my old tapes. The likes of the ballads, Frank Sinatra and all that lot, we get by.
Yeah, I'm sure you cope very well, Mrs. Cook, but what about getting proper treatment? I mean, how long has this been going on?
What about treatment? You tell me. 6 years it's been going on, ever since they chucked him out of university. That surprises you, doesn't it? He would have been a doctor by now. He started telling his fiancée his dad had nicked his books. A couple of months later, she dumped him on the doorstep. He kept locking himself in his room, all neat. From then on, it was in and out of psychiatric hospital, till a couple of years ago.
And what happened?
Some bright spark sent him home, flattened the hospital and turned it into a DIY warehouse.
Sierra Oscar from Sierra Oscar 1.
Sierra Oscar 1, go ahead.
I'd like you to circulate a lost or stolen vehicle, please, Kathy.
Go ahead, sir.
Index number Juliet 649 Tango Bravo Lima Blue Sierra taken from Ellington Way car park sometime in the past 1.5 hours.
Received. Shall I organise a lift for you, sir?
Yes.
He's well gutted. Yeah. I bet his bird ain't too happy.
Mark, grub up. Put your sandwich. Well, it's there if you change your mind. You're right, Mark. They've got to be long later to see you. Ignore them. Look, it's She's demand if you change it. Over, please. Go back to your jobs. Let's give him some air, all right? It's all over. Thanks for your help. I was just being overcautious. Hollis, stay with him. June, I want a word. Sarge? Now, she obviously knows how to handle her son, but she's made a right mockery of our security here. In future, make sure that all visitors are properly supervised, all right?
Sarge! Mrs. Cook! Mrs. Cook, please, can you come out with me? All right, one of our officers will stay with him. Just a friend. Just a friend.
And you thought you were going to escape across the mid?
We'll have a bit of a rant. We'll just deny everything.
Can you help me, please, miss?
Yes, sir. What's the problem?
It's Eileen, my wife, and my son Mark. They came here hours ago, and I've waited and waited, but they didn't come home. I've brought Mark some clothes.
In a hurry, Quinnen?
Oh, yes, sir, I'm going away.
On your holidays? I'm quite aware. Well, you know why you're here. So, as we're all in a hurry to get away, and you're about to deny everything, shall we cut the flannel?
Sir?
Where do you think I got this from, Quinnen? A fancy dress shop? I gave your ego a tap, so you both thought you'd stitch me up and have a bit of fun at my expense. I won't even bother to ask if you did it, because we know that. Of course, the whole station knows that. That was the idea. And they'll all know about the flowers and my secret romance. Laughable, isn't it? Pity I didn't have the opportunity to drop them into the hospital. My wife's having an operation tomorrow. Well, that's all. Have a nice holiday, Quinnen.
Thank you, sir.
Finished. Big brown eyes, extraordinary big brown eyes, piercing brown eyes, and this big brown beard, very full brown beard, and this cloak, this white cloak. I swear.
Hey.
It was.
Hey. Thanks very much for talking to us, Mark. But we have got to have a chat. So maybe you'd like to go and have a rest.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks a lot.
Come on, Mark.
Thanks a lot. No.
He's been diagnosed as chronic schizophrenic in the past.
According to his mother, yeah.
And he obviously believes that someone is out to harm him.
How's he been while he's been in custody? Any problems?
Well, he got a bit scared when the custody officer gave him a sandwich, but no, there's been no real problem. He just seems more frightened and isolated than anything else.
Well, I would say that under the circumstances, there's very little that can be done for him that isn't already being done.
But nothing is being done, is it?
That's not true. He has undergone treatment.
Well, can't you have him sectioned under the Mental Health Act? I mean, have him taken into care?
Your custody officer could have him sectioned. That's not the problem. The problem is what to do with him.
Well, you have him committed to a psychiatric ward. I mean,
it's
surely...
out of the question. while he's not actually presenting a risk to himself or anyone else, we certainly couldn't take away his liberty. I mean, he does have rights, after all.
Doesn't his mother have any rights? Look, she has been injured by him. She's not going to testify to that in court, but it unquestionably goes on.
Well, that is a legal question.
PC Ackland, I can tell you he's a damn sight better off than most. Dr. Martin and myself and many other people spent half our lives on the telephone desperately trying to find psychiatric hospital places for people with nowhere to go and no one to look after them. At least Mark has that. Hospital just isn't feasible.
I think that Roger and I both agree that for the moment, his case should be monitored.
And is that it?
I really can't see any other course of action. Look, I'm probably no happier about this than you are, but it's the best the system can provide, believe me.
Split personality is what people think, you know. That's what people think. Anyway, Dad Streep has schizophrenia. He went on working for years.
I can't think I've come across him. Is he other court judge?
No, he's one of Freud's case histories. It's quite interesting. If you ever get a chance to have a look at it.
Yeah, well, I might do that. I've always been aware of what a strange thing the human mind is.
I don't understand. You said...
I said he'd be given an assessment.
But he needs to go to hospital. What assessment does he need? You've seen it.
A doctor and a social worker have both agreed.
But you've seen what he's like. He hears voices. He's meeting Jesus Christ in the shopping arcade. What are they going to do with him in the court, eh? Send him to prison?
No, he'll be bound over to keep the peace.
And sent back home for me to look after? How am I supposed to cope with him?
Mrs. Cook, please calm down.
No. When he's out of control, he needs drugs. Drugs I don't have. Drugs the hospital has. Why can't he go there? Just for a while. Why?
I don't know. I guess it's just not that simple.
Oh, isn't it? What's so complicated about it? What is it that you people can't see with your own eyes?
All I know is what the social worker told me. And he thinks...
Oh, does he? He slashed his legs with a razor blade. He washed his face with bleach. Have you ever seen what that does?
No.
Blood in his eyes. And he'll do it again and again and again and again. And then he'll probably be dead!
So I'll have to stay here all night then, will I? You'll keep me here.
That's right.
Good. Good.
Come on, Jim, you can do it.
Look, this is your case, Ted. Look, not even you
It
would...
was my case. Careful research, legwork, witnesses, the works. Then PC Davis from D Relief pulls the guy in for going equipped. Look, it's all there.
Look, I have an urgent report to finish for the DCI.
How many favours do you owe me, eh? Right, well, I'm calling one of them in. I've got urgent business in court. Come on, he's pure knocked it from ear to ear. Give him 20 minutes, he'd be a pushover.
This is way out of order, Ted. Way out of order!
Hi. He's been cautioned. The custody sergeant said...
All right, hang on. Tapes?
In there.
Interview commenced. Those present are DC Carver, Simon Cooper and PC... Davis. OK, Mr. Cooper. I'm Detective Constable Carver. I understand you were arrested for going equipped. May I remind you that you do not have to say anything unless you wish to do so, but anything you do say will be taken down and may be used in evidence. So, Mr. Cooper, you were arrested in Monkbridge Street.
Well, where's that then?
No, Thaddeus Road. He was loitering in a suspicious manner, out of breath like he'd been running. I questioned him regarding his business in the area and he couldn't account for it.
It says Monkbridge Street here.
That's where I found the file and the screwdriver. He admits he chucked them in the bushes. They're with the custody sergeant.
What were you doing with the file and the screwdriver?
I found them. Well, somebody must have dropped them.
So, you say you live at a rented flat in Golders Green. What were you doing in Sun Hill?
I asked him that when I nicked him. He said that he
Yeah,
was...
all right, thanks. I'll let him tell me.
Oh, sorry.
Well?
Is there a law against coming to Sun Hill or something?
No.
I said I was meant to be seeing someone about a job.
What's his name?
Dunno.
Listen, mate, don't muck me about. You keep going like this, we'll be stuck here all afternoon. So let's start at the beginning, shall we? You were seen disposing of tools that had been used in an attempted burglary. You can't explain what you were doing. Yes!
Jim, quick word.
Right, Mark. Wait there. Interview temporarily suspended.
What are you doing?
Interviewing a suspect, mate.
Yes, I can see that. You've just arrested him, have you? You've got all the details of the case.
Well, I was given a brief, yes.
I've just spoken to the custody sergeant. It's Ted Roach's case, but he's left it to you. You've done no preparation, no research. You've got nothing through from forensic yet. So I'll ask you again, what the hell are you doing?
Look, Mum, I didn't exactly choose to do this.
No,
I
you're
was...
supposed to be doing a report for me. Is it finished?
No, Mum, not yet.
So instead of getting on with it, you're doing a favour for someone else and screwing up any chances of a conviction.
Mum, Ted Roach needed help. He asked me if I...
Suspend the interview and send him back to the cell. He can wait till Ted Roach gets back before he's interviewed again. With any luck, you won't have completely ruined his chances. Do it now, please.
DI's office. No, I'm sorry, he's not. Dave Lindsay. Yep, I'll tell him you phoned. Bye. Right.
Reed. It's getting personal with her, that's what it's starting to look like.
Don't give me that.
There's no point trying to explain it to you.
It's not that simple. Oh, Gov, bloke called Dave Lindsay just phoned. He wants a word.
Good. Right, I'm going out for a drink if anyone needs
No,
me.
you're not.
Some of that was a bit high-powered.
I was thinking you were a bit high-powered.
Oh. Come on, Kim, what do you really know about the French police force's concerns about 1992 trade banners? Thanks.
I spent 3 weeks on the Dordogne last year. Ended up in a cafe on the last night with a couple of gendarmes from Dieppe. We had a very high-level discussion about the international police work, only a part of which had to be conducted in sign language.
You're wasted at Sun Hill, you know that? Got a board for superintendent yet?
Why? Are you making me an offer?
You open to one? I'll buy you lunch.
You know that's impossible. Your street robberies initiative report, remember?
Things are okay at Sun Hill.
You put me there. Am I going to moan on to you about it?
If you've got any problems.
Not exactly. Personalities. Nothing that can't be sorted out.
And if you ever do need any help, no, really, a word in the right ear, some discreet research.
Thanks, but really, I can look after myself.
Don't worry about it, pal. You get to my rank, you find out what rows are all about. Anyway, you should be too busy to notice. Who is Dave Lindsay, anyway? Serious Crime Squad. Used to be DSs together. Well, he still is a DS, as it happens. Bit of a lunatic. But he calms down when he gets to know you. David, how are you?
How you doing, Frank?
It's good to see you. I want you to meet a colleague of mine, DC Carver, DS Dave Lindsay.
Dave? Well, always travel in pairs, do you, Frank?
Come on, David. He's all right.
Thought you might like a bit of gossip.
Yeah? Get him in, Jim. He's a good boy.
About our friend, Mr. Kevin Carson. Height specialist.
So what you been hearing?
He's putting something together.
No way.
Thought you had tabs on Carson. Look, Frank, I haven't done any homework. I'm just passing on what I've got. A couple of uniforms pulled a bloke breaking and entering out of Kentish Town. This was a few days ago. Turns out he could be fitted to a score of other offences. Started trying to do deals.
Can't sound too reliable to me, David. I mean, if you've just turned him as an informant, how many other people was he trying to grass up?
Just the one. A bloke called Martin Riley. He's the driver.
I know Martin Riley.
The word is Carson's been splashing money around. Bikes for the kids, a new car, that sort of thing. Now, there's nothing with Carson's trademark on it being pulled, so it must be cash up front for a job he's got planned. And that sort of cash means whatever it is, it has to be big. It would pay you to look into this one, Frank.
Cooper, your name is, right? I know you, don't I? How old are you?
Sarge? I said, do what you like, as long as you pay for the curry. Sarge? Yes, George?
I reckon we've got a juvenile locked up down there.
What?
I'm sure I know him. He's only about 15.
Well, he can't be. He's already been interviewed by CID once. Says 18 on the custody record.
What is this?
Ring for the doctor, Matt.
Come on, he's taking a mick.
Get the doctor now! George, give us a hand. Just put this by his head.
I'm sorry, sir.
Cappuccino for me, and whatever he wants.
Sorry.
Hello, Ronald.
Oh, Mr. Burnside.
So how's Kevin?
Kevin? Not sure I know who you mean.
Kevin Carson. Now, you do remember Kevin Carson, Ronald?
Oh, that Kevin? No, sorry, I wasn't with you there for a minute.
Jim, I want you to meet Ronnie. He's done me a few favours in his time. Mind you, that was in return for a big favour I did him once. Stopped him getting on a hovercraft. With that, how much do you have in that suitcase, Ronald?
Yeah, well, that's all behind me now.
Not quite, Ron. Not quite.
With respect, Mum, if Detective Sergeant Roach had kept us informed in the first place, we wouldn't be
He
in
was not
this.
the arresting officer.
Yeah, but a custody officer on before me said Ted Roach you the guy backwards. I mean, I'm new and all that. I've never seen him before. It says he's 18 on the custody sheet, so...
The doctor's been?
Yes, Mum.
You've notified the parents?
Well, yeah, I've tried to now.
Tried to?
Look, we didn't invite the guy to keel over and foam at the mouth, Mum. He did it of his own accord.
Yeah, look, Mum, obviously we're making every effort to contact the mother, but we're going to have to face the consequences of interviewing him without a parent present.
Wonderful.
He was lying about his age.
Yes, thank you. Right, track the parents down and leave the rest to me. I'll find one of the CID officers responsible and let you know, OK?
Yes, Mum. Thanks.
I always said, Kevin, put your money into bricks and mortar. Now, that was the thing to do in the 80s, wasn't it? I mean, especially if you could pay cash. I gave you that advice.
So what's the SP with this new motor of his?
Now you know about that. Bailey said it was an investment. I mean, I don't drive. I wouldn't know how much a jag like that was worth.
I should say between 3 or 4 years.
No, I'm sure it's all above board.
Not if Martin Riley's involved, it ain't. You seen them together?
Yeah, I saw him down at Goodwood a couple of weeks ago. I was there on business. Well, you know, a bit of racing, but business. Kevin turned up in the jag. Maureen and the kids in the back hamper full of smoked salmon, cold chicken, you know, the usual.
Who else was there? I said, who else was there?
The Pope. He was there. Look, you do understand this conversation never took place.
So you didn't get an invite to the races, then?
No. No, I just happened to see him. Matter of fact, I was there with a party from the Allied and Caledonian Assurance.
Nice talking to you, Ronnie.
Always a pleasure. Nice to meet you, Tim.
Jim.
Anything you ever need? Investment advice, pension scheme, Ronnie Lempert, numbers on the card.
Cheers.
God bless.
That's him, with the kids. Community Association, Residents Committee, Neighbourhood Watch Scheme, you name it, he's on it. I mean, what's he earn? 60, 65 grand, tax-free. One armed robbery a year pays for all that.
He's been inside, though, hasn't he?
Yeah. Back in 81. A bit unlucky as it happens. Evidence was dead iffy. But the judge and jury were dead against him from the start.
Martin Riley?
I don't know what's the matter with Kevin.
Kevin!
Stupid pillock. He must be losing his grip.
They often look worse than they are, don't they, eh? You take anything for it, do you?
It's all at home. Would have been all right if you lot hadn't picked me up.
Come on, mate, we've got to do our job. If you all go out burgling houses...
Yeah.
That's what you were doing, wasn't it, eh?
Right.
Sarge, Mrs. Cooper. Where is he?
He's been looked after, Mrs. Cooper.
Looked after? You brought him in at what time? He's 15 years old. He suffers from a medical condition which he can't control without drugs. He needs...
The doctor's seen him, Mrs. Cooper.
What's he doing here?
Mrs. Cooper, your son's just admitted to attempted burglary.
What, you mean you've been questioning him? He's just had an attack and you've been intimidating him with a lot of questions.
I was talking to him, that's all.
What sort of a police force is this?
So Ronnie Lampert thought one of these was an investment, did he? Do you mind? I nearly bought one of these in 1980. I had access to some cash then. Well, what happened? Didn't like the neighbours? I got divorced. What do you want? Well, not you for a start, but as you're here. Where is he? Kevin, police!
What's going on?
Hello, Kev. Long time no see.
You've got a nerve, haven't you, Frank? What you playing at?
I'm just about to ask you the same question.
What's your brief's number?
Leave that phone alone, Riley.
No, you ring him. Donovan. His number's in the notebook.
So you're setting up a bit of business then, Kev?
Yeah, as it happens. Private business.
You don't have any private business, not from me. You should know that.
Mr. Donovan, please. You don't threaten me, mate. I've been around. I've seen all this before.
Why don't you shut up? Where'd you find a prat like that, Kevin? James, go out and run a check on that Jag. I presume he sold it to you?
The car's clean.
Nothing that boy touches is clean, believe me.
Mr. Donovan, I'm ringing on behalf of my business partner.
Tell Donovan to go straight down the Nick, save himself a journey.
I'm not going anywhere with you. You got a warrant?
Now, don't be clever.
All right. Search the place if you want. Warrant or no warrant. See what you can find.
I see. So the Pope hasn't delivered the sawn-offs yet, then?
Golf 956 Kilo Alpha Bravo. Over.
Yeah, hang about, Jim. Just confirm this. It's Golf 956 Kilo Alpha.
What does she want me for? Problem with a juvenile, Ted. A boy called Cooper? Jim Carver interviewed him without a parent being present.
But he had the file. All the information was there.
Yes, Jim. A registered keeper is a Kevin Richard Carson, 105 Sunningbrook Drive, Sun Hill. That do you?
Yeah, like a lead balloon, Sarge. Thanks anyway.
Oh, by the way, the DCI was looking for you earlier, Jim. Did you get the message?
So you're saying you haven't seen Alan Pope? Well, I say you have. You're out of order. Look, why don't you do yourself a favour? Otherwise, you'll be calling your own brief.
Leave it, Martin.
Well?
Car checks out, Gov.
Right. Well, I would offer you a drink, but me and Martin have got some business to discuss.
No, you ain't. James, whistle up the traffic unit and get a vehicle examiner down the Nick. We're taking the motor in.
I'm sorry if you feel your son's been unfairly treated, Mrs. Cooper, but you have to understand that when a boy of 15 lies to us and tells us that he's 18, we have to believe him. We were not aware of his medical condition until it became obvious when we got him help and contacted you.
He's still ill. I'm taking him home.
Under the circumstances, I am prepared to allow that. You'll both come here tomorrow and Detective Sergeant Roach will talk to Simon again and try and clear the matter out, OK? What time will you be here, Sergeant?
10?
Thank you.
10 o'clock.
You'd be wise to think very carefully before making any comment.
Matthew, I want these two men detained pending inquiries into the identification of a motor vehicle which I believe may be stolen.
Right, sir. Names, please.
After you, Kev. Can you remember yours, Martin? It's Riley.
Leave him alone.
Gov, I've really got to go upstairs.
You're all right, off you go. I'll catch you later. Can I leave him with you, Matt? I want to go and talk to the vehicle examiner.
No problem. Right. Who should we do first?
All right, Graham.
What do you want done with it, Gov?
Here's the registration document. I want it checked thoroughly. If this motor's not bent in some way or other, I could be in serious bother.
Come in. Ah, Jim.
Look, Mum, I'm sorry. It's just I was cheesed off after that row we had.
I'm not going to shout at you. You don't wing it in this business, whether you think you can or not. So what were you doing instead of the report?
I went out with the DI on inquiries. I didn't expect to be away so long. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Look, I'll work late tonight and finish it. I know what to do.
You sure?
Sure, that's a promise.
Was it worth it, your afternoon on inquiries?
Well, that's debatable, Mum, but the DI seems pretty confident of a result, yeah.
Good. Oh, Jim, did Inspector Burnside know about the report you were doing for me?
Graham.
What you got? Oh, yeah, you're Jag, isn't it? Come in the office, Gov. The engine number's right. Well, it's right now. Same with the chassis number. Oh, and that registration document you gave me. It's no forgery either. It's kosher. Yeah.
Are you telling me it's all kosher?
No.
Just answer the question, will you? I asked you how much longer.
I wouldn't like to hazard a guess, mate. Sorry. Right, what we got?
Urinating in a public place.
Oh, good hope.
Carson. Well, Kev,
What do you want?
you've been behaving like a right prat, haven't you?
You coming here to insult me or let me go?
Shouldn't be long now. Your mate Riley might have to hang around a bit longer. The motor's a ringer. Good one, I'll grant you. But it's a ringer. The wheel rims are engraved with the original registration. It was reported stolen from Chesham a few months ago. We're nicking Riley on a handling charge.
I'll kill him.
No, Kev, not in front of me. You got to get your act together, pal. Like I said, I'm onto you. You do anything, I'll know about it.
But you didn't say anything of the sort, Sarge, with respect. You just gave me the file and told me to get on with it.
I mean, that is terrific. I have a successful day in court, 16 TICs. They send the guy down for 7 years. I come back here, that woman tells me I've got an attitude problem.
Ted, you were pushing it. Come on.
What's wrong now, Ted?
Nothing, Gov.
Come and have an attitude. Close the door. Fancy a scotch?
Yeah, why not?
I bet you thought Ted Roach was the only one who had a bottle. Well, you'd be right. Up yours.
Cheers, Gov.
We've nicked him.
Carson?
Oh, don't be stupid. Riley. The motor was reamed. Well, don't look so happy about it.
Look, Gov.
A very productive little jaunt, I'd say.
Gov, why stop at Riley? Why not go for Carson or Pope?
And get what? Case dismissed after 9 months legal proceedings? Not to mention the cost of an obbo, plus a big setup. Flying squad, PT-17, shoot-ups. I mean, we're not looking for another act in High Street, are we?
No, I suppose not. I could have done without this, son.
Done without what?
Well, I did have a report to finish for the DCI. It's going to take me all night now. Look, Gov, I'm not complaining, but I am being pulled two ways at once here.
Jim! I always thought you could walk down the road and chew gum at the same time. Well, you can, can't you? I mean, I always thought that. You want to learn things, then stick with me. People like Dave Lindsay, even Ronnie Lempert. They can show you a few things. I didn't introduce you to them for nothing. That lot out there, they don't know their arse from their elbow. Good people, but limited. You know what I mean? I mean, the book's all very well. Live with it, learn it, but you use it all the time, and you'll come well unstuck.
Well, he could be right, Gov.
You see if I'm not.
Extension 4760, please. Hello, Assistant Commissioner Renshaw's office. Is he there? DCI Reed, Sun Hill. Mark, hi. Yeah, fine, but it's going to be late. Sometime early tomorrow. Okay. No unavoidable delay or what my DI would call routine mischief. Yeah, I'm sure you've heard of him. No, that's the Chief Inspector. Burnside. Yeah. Look, that lunch you were offering, next time I'm at Scotland Yard, I'll take you up on it, okay? All right. Night.
See you in the morning, chaps.
Good night, Gov.
Night, Mark.
Night, Frank.
Jim, when two worlds collide, if I were you, I'd try not to get stuck in the middle.
Yeah, thanks.
Come on, Viv, let's go. You're buying.
Cheers, Jim. Bye.
Cheers.
Anything?
Matter of opinion.
What?
Nothing, sir. She's a big girl. Look at that.
Sierra Oscar 595 receiving.
Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, can I have some transport? Take the complainant home. She's not really hurt, just a bit shook up.
I was hanging on to it. £5. Been saving it for bingo tonight.
Is this fella nasty from the off?
Oh, he was all right to begin with.
Oh, thanks. Here you go, love. That will make you feel better.
Was on a lucky run as well.
I think we're wasting our time, sir.
Happy now?
Steve, we're going to call it a day.
Pity. I was just beginning to enjoy myself.
This going to become a regular booking, then? Well, it's getting to be a bit of a habit, isn't it?
Twice in 2 years is hardly a habit.
We could take a look around, see if you could spot him.
I'd rather go home.
Okay, love.
Let's see. Here you go, love. Got the address, George?
Yeah, but I didn't get a tea break. You should have put her on the bus.
Good description. Can't say I know him, though.
We ought to have knocked this begging business on the head when it first started. It's got well out of hand now.
Oh, whose fault's that?
It's not mine, is it? Or hers. She could have had a big win with that fiver.
Oh, yeah. I know most of the homeless who sleep rough on this street. This guy doesn't ring any bells.
Well, perhaps he got dressed up for it specially.
Mid-20s, cropped hair, covered in tattoos, with what she says is a lazy eye, you know, half closed all the time.
Should be easy to spot then.
And a card hanging from what she said looked like a dog chain saying, "Hungry and homeless, please help."
Perhaps he's on his holiday from the embankment.
It was as if a large section of his stock was missing.
Hardcore stuff?
Yeah.
Any suggestions?
Not the obvious.
Which is?
Oh, someone tipped him off.
Oh, no, please.
Well, there's a possibility, sir.
In fact, I don't see what else could have happened. A week ago, we had reliable information. He had stuff in there that would make Bernard Manning blush. He can't have sold it all.
If we knew about this a week ago, why didn't we hit him then?
Manpower, sir.
Look, the next time we get information of this sort, I want immediate action, all right?
We'll do our best.
What if somebody did tip him off?
Who else was on the team?
Sergeant Maitland, PC Loxton.
Well, keep an eye on it, will you, Derek? I leave it to your good judgment, all right?
8-5 from Sierra Oscar receiving, over.
Yeah, 8-5 receiving.
Disturbance at the Red Lion Public House, George Street. Reported by the barmaid, Catriona Davis.
Yeah, receiving, on way. Forgotten where the accelerator is?
He just doesn't want to know.
Well, give it some stick.
I am doing.
Oh, anyway. It's no rush. Pub brawl. Best to get there a little bit late. Let them knock themselves out before we get there. Report for disturbance, love.
At the back.
What, through there?
You Catriona Davis?
Sorry.
A couple of blokes, is it?
More like half a dozen.
Let's get some back. Oi! I think we've had enough of this little game for one day, don't you? June!
Oh! Gotcha. Don't be silly, you're not going anywhere.
We're wasting our time. This lot are hardly likely to shop one of their own. Anyway, they're all at it,
Of course they're not.
and they will be soon.
Those two couldn't threaten a dead cat.
They're spongers, Kathy. If they wanted to get out of it, they could. I've no time for them.
How are they going to get out of it?
By working like the rest of us.
Just like that?
Yes, just like that. Just forget it.
I'm not going to forget it.
Why not?
Because I'm not. Something's not right here.
The way you're talking, you think that these people are normal. They've all got chips on their shoulders, Kathy, about God knows what, and they only care about two things, booze and drugs. You know that.
You two know each other, do you?
Yeah, Barry's an old mate. You, Barry?
Yeah.
What's your surname?
Kelton.
So what was all this about?
Can't remember now. Something and nothing.
And I suppose you can't remember either.
That's right.
So you knocked 3 bells out of each other and you're trying to tell us you don't remember why?
I think he said something about my mother.
Oh, yeah? Wait there. Hello, love. Do you think you could tell me what happened?
I don't really know.
Well, do you know what they were fighting over? No idea.
No.
Another, please, Catriona.
Look, do you think it'd be better if I spoke to your governor?
He isn't in.
Well, were they regulars or what?
I don't know.
Gavin is.
Gavin?
And his mate, they drink in here all the time.
Who's Gavin?
Oh, I can never remember his name. Susie or Boozy or something.
D'Souza.
That's him.
And he's a regular, is he?
Comes in a bit.
And his mate's called Kelton, yeah?
Oh?
Barry Kelton, the bloke who's outside with him.
Kelton don't ring a bell.
Yeah, short guy, dark hair, with a red jacket. We picked him up in here just now.
Oh, that's not his mate. Never seen him before. His mate is the bloke what sent your woman friend for 6. I know, because I drinks here all the time, don't I, Catriona? Looks after her Auntie Maureen, don't you?
Yeah.
Maureen, were you in here when it started?
Yeah. And I'll be in here till it's finished.
You'd know him if you saw him. Tattoos, sign round his neck. He threatened a shopper this morning. Now, that's not going to be any good for any of you, is it?
Kathy, let's make a move, shall we? Stomach feels me throat's been cut.
1 minute.
Look, you're wasting your time. This lot aren't going to tell you anything. They're not going to rattle one of their mates.
He's not one of your mates, is he? Right, Sumo, come here. I said here. Now listen. I'm not messing you lot about, but if we don't pick this guy up, your life is going to be screwed. We're going to come down so heavy on Becky, and even Flag Days are going to have trouble. Now, I don't know who this character is, but I do know he's not one of you lot. So you give me some information, everything will go back the way it was, eh? You know who he is, don't you?
Yeah,
So where's he hang out?
I don't know.
Where's he sleep, then?
Not with us. I've never seen him at none of the hostels.
So where have you seen him?
Just around.
Somebody must know who he is.
Yeah, they do.
Who?
Norman.
Norman. Great. You're not taking me back! I'm not going back! I'm not going back! Get away from me! Get away! Don't you dare touch me! I'll kill you! I'll kill you! Come on, Norman, we're not going to hurt you.
Just want to talk to you.
I'm not going with you. You can't make me. I'm not going. I'm not.
You're not going to take her away, are you?
Listen, Norman, would you... Get off me! Get off me!
Get off her! She's not done anything!
Shut up, will you? Just listen. We want to know about a friend of yours with tattoos, right? You know him, don't you? He's a good friend. Tattoos. I might do.
Who is he, Norman?
You don't have to tell him, Norman.
You button it!
Is he your boyfriend? What's his name, Norman? Adrian. Adrian who?
Adrian Minette.
Just doesn't smell right, does it, eh?
You're beginning to sound like CID. Just drop it.
Oh, yeah, OK. All right, lads, you can get off. Hold on a minute. 8-5 to Sierra Oscar receiving, over.
Go ahead, 8-5.
Yeah, can you give me a PNC check on registrations Charlie 869 Bravo Uniform Lima and Echo 402 Mike Foxtrot Romeo, over?
Will do, 8-5.
You don't mind me looking in your car, do you?
No.
Good.
Hang on now.
Sierra Oscar 8-5 from Sierra Oscar. OK to speak with these PNC checks?
Yes. Go to the jumble, have we?
Yeah, 5p the lot, Sarge.
According to Norman, Minette's got a car.
Doesn't sound like you're run-of-the-mill homeless to me.
She says she's his girlfriend. He used to take her up Tesco's car park, innit?
A real romantic.
Sarge.
Steve.
You know that bloke whose shop we turned over this morning?
Yeah.
Joe's just brought him in.
What for?
Don't know.
Right, thanks.
Oh, Sarge?
Yep.
What about Minette?
Oh, yeah, well, try and locate him.
We haven't got much to go on.
Well, check with CRO. He sounds like the sort of boy who's bound to have his own entry. Sir, they've just pulled Barry Kelton.
Have they now?
Are we keeping her or what?
No, we don't need her anymore. We've got to check up on her boyfriend.
Right then, I'll get one of their people to come and pick her up.
Oh, run away again?
Yeah, we know.
What home are you in, Norman? I ain't telling you.
Connaught Lodge.
You git! Adrian, I'll have you!
Don't start.
You ain't taking me nowhere! Naff off! I'm not going! I'm not going!
Right, let's get her to a detention cell.
No!
No!
Norman! Give you one thing, Norman, you're nothing if not consistent.
So, what were you doing with 3 policeman uniforms in the boot of your car?
Going to a fancy dress party.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So you hired them?
No.
So where did you get them from?
Bloke.
Which bloke?
In the Red Line. I don't know his name.
If it was for you, for a fancy dress party, why the 3 of them?
I wasn't sure what size I was.
You know it's a serious offence impersonating a policeman?
So why haven't they got you yet, then?
What's your relationship with Barry Kelton? Did he supply you with the uniforms?
No. It's just a mate.
So why were you fighting?
Something to do.
What do you do for a living, Mr. D'Souza?
I'm unemployed.
You seem to have a nice lifestyle for someone who's unemployed. Nice car, nice clothes.
I'm careful.
Oi! Stop tampering with the evidence. You know how it upsets people.
I was just admiring the car. Take a look at this.
What is it?
It's a receipt for an ad that you put in one of them contact mags.
Subscribe to it, do you?
Ha.
Anything you want, we will supply. Name your preference. Animals to... Oh, it's disgusting. Yeah, all right. Maybe it was a bit more than a pub brawl.
They weren't even in my car.
We know that.
So what's all this about?
You thought you might be able to tell us what your mate D'Souza wanted them for.
He's no mate.
It's not what you told my police officers.
Yeah, well, that was before you charged me with ABH. Of course I'm going to call him a mate. I'd have said it was my mother if it had got me off it, but it didn't. So why don't you just bail me and let me out of here?
What were you and D'Souza fighting about?
I can't remember.
It must have been about something.
Well, I said he was ugly. I don't know. Who cares?
I want to know about your informant.
What informant?
Who was it that tipped you off we were going to turn you over?
Nobody.
You knew we were coming.
No, I didn't. Did D'Souza tell you that? Is he trying to stitch me up?
So how come half your stock was missing?
Half me stock?
Empty shelves.
And you're saying I got rid of it because I was tipped off? I wish.
I need the informant's name, Barry.
Do me a favour.
The name.
There is no name.
Now, don't mess me about.
You're wasting your time.
So why the empty shelves?
Change of policy. I got rid of anything that was even turquoise. I didn't need no informant to tell me you lot were cracking down. It's in all the bleeding newspapers, isn't it?
Keep him locked up. I haven't finished with him yet.
Sir.
Excuse me, sir. I thought you might like to see this. It was in D'Souza's car. There's also a load of pornographic magazines in the boot. Hardcore stuff.
So, at least we know the connection with Kelton now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's D'Souza that's got the informant. The same one that supplies him with the uniforms.
But what for?
What's the matter with him?
Dies in top gear.
Changing up too soon.
No, I'm not.
George and Stewart took it out this morning. Said it went like a bomb.
You insinuating something?
Would I?
What road was it?
Abelman.
Oh, yummy, my favourite.
I reckon our Adians had a career change over the last year.
What do you mean?
Used to do a lot of burglaries at one time, but he kept getting banged up for them. Seems that he's decided to move on.
Yeah, to demanding money with menaces.
Don't forget about seducing 15-year-old absconders.
So what do you think the chances are of the victim identifying him?
Good, but we could still do with something else. Otherwise, 10 to 1, he's bound to claim that it was all a big mistake and that she just misunderstood him.
Well, Norman didn't misunderstand him, did she? She knew why they were going to Tesco's and it wasn't for the shopping.
Yeah, but will she give us a statement?
No problem. She's proud of it.
Hello, love. Adrian Minette in, is he?
No.
He does live here.
Yeah?
You are?
Rowena Minette.
His wife?
Yeah.
Are you expecting him back?
I don't know.
Look, could we come in? It's better than standing on the doorstep, eh?
Yeah, all right.
Thanks. Do you know where he is, love?
No.
In here.
Yeah.
Is he working?
No.
How about you?
I can't. The doctor won't let me.
So how are you living?
Social Security.
Fancy making us a cuppa?
Why, is he going to stay in?
Only till your old man gets back.
What's he done?
Nothing. We just need to talk to him.
He doesn't burgle anymore. I know that for a fact.
It's not about a burglary.
Good.
If there was something that said he was pretending to be homeless, we wouldn't have a problem.
Any ideas what?
No. I don't think she knows what he's up to.
Certainly not with Norman, anyway.
Adrian go out most days, does he?
Shut up! Wait! Stone, now shut up! Say that bloody thing! Let's have it looked up in all the time, otherwise it goes mad. Shut up!
Can he jump?
Barry Kelton goes into this pub and with 3 of his mates starts on D'Souza and another bloke. Both Kelton and D'Souza deal in porn. Then we find D'Souza likes dressing up as a policeman. Here.
So what do you reckon we're looking for, sir? More uniforms?
Could be.
Do we know if D'Souza does his business from this place?
Not sure. There was only a post office box number in the ad.
Kelton obviously has a grievance against D'Souza.
Well, presumably because D'Souza's pinching his business.
No, I reckon he's pinching his stuff.
Go on.
Well, we've always assumed that they knew each other.
Yeah, because they said so.
Yeah, but perhaps they didn't. Perhaps D'Souza, who we know runs a porno mail order business, needed some gear, cheap or, better still, free. So he gets hold of some uniforms and decides to do a few impromptu raids in the area, confiscating all the really hardcore stuff. Nobody's going to complain, because the stuff's probably illegal in the first place.
Then we go round there this morning as the real McCoy. Kelton realises he's been had.
Yeah, and Kelton puts the feelers out. Well, you would, wouldn't you? It comes up with D'Souza's name. Hears he drinks in the Red Line, so he steams round there with a load of mates to pick up the gear.
Sounds possible to me. Shall we go and find out?
What's all this about?
You don't look too homeless to me.
Did you let them in? You stupid cow! I told you not to let anyone in!
Been stepping out of line, haven't you, Adrian?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I think you do.
Been begging, haven't you?
You're not going to try running me in for that, are you?
No. But we are for extracting money with menace.
Try it.
We have a witness who described you to a T.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. She said that you threatened her until she coughed up.
When was this?
This morning.
She got it all wrong.
I don't think so.
I asked her for some change, that's all.
And then she forced the money onto you.
Stupid cow. She just got the wrong end of the stick.
I don't think so. And that sign sort of gives the game away, doesn't it? I mean, she'd never think that you're a commuter asking for change for the phone now, would she?
Back in there, you, and shut the door.
Finished?
Just about.
Good, let's go then.
Hey?
We got the car outside.
You've no evidence.
Do you know a girl called Carolyn Bates?
No.
Well, she knows you.
Probably know her better as Norman.
What about her?
She's only 15.
I bet you felt pretty chuffed with yourself, didn't you? Seducing a 15-year-old who isn't all there.
I never touched her.
It's not what she said. She told us all about you and your car and the supermarket car parks and what you got up to there.
Well, let's go.
Why don't you come and get me?
We can wait all day if you like. That's not a problem.
We could even start talking to your wife. Tell her why you've offered to help us with our inquiries.
Yeah, well, he had you fooled.
One big sham, aren't you, Adrian? Come on. Go on.
I'll drive, Kev. What's wrong with that thing?
I did tell you.
It's the compression.
What?
You're losing compression.
Oh, and you'd know, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would.
But when I want your advice, I'll ask for it.
George and June said it went like a bomb this morning. Sierra Oscar 487.
What is it, Kathy?
Yeah, Sarge, we've got to spot a car trouble
Tell
here.
him it's the compression.
Will you shut up?
Oi.
No, I don't know how the papers got hold of it, sir. Yes, that's correct. Well, we raided one of the shops this morning. Well, nothing we can actually prosecute them for, no, sir. Yes, sir, I will, of course. Thank you.
Sir?
What's happening?
Sorry?
About these pawn shops, I gather it's in the papers.
Oh, yes, I hear.
Why wasn't I informed?
I don't know, sir.
Any possibility of a leak?
Well, there's nothing so far.
Look, the last thing I want is everybody knowing about it and we having nothing to show for it.
Look, sir, I think we ought to...
Look, I don't want to hear any more talk about lack of manpower. I'm finding it very boring, all right?
There is somebody on it now, and I think you'll find we'll get something from it.
Again, why wasn't I informed?
Well, I'm sorry, sir, but I thought you said you wanted me to handle it.
Yes, I do, Derek. I'd just like to know what's going on, that's all.
Just do yourself a favour and open up. Okay, off you go. Up the stairs! Stay there! Stay there!
What a little business they had going here.
It's a pervert's paradise.
A lot of evidence to collate, sir.
Could send you blind, this lot.
I'd see an optician quick then.
Sir?
I want every item listed in detail. Now, what's the matter? Some people would pay for the privilege.
Yes, sir.
Mrs. Jacobus, it's Sun Hill Police. You phoned us something about your dog.
Oh, it's not the dog. Oh, my God, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
If you could just have a few words with them.
Yeah, well, they're feeling overworked and underpaid, Mom. Maybe if I allowed them a bit more leeway with overtime.
And overwork them even more.
No, reward them. Build up their morale a bit.
I always thought taking pride in one's work was meant to be good for morale. This isn't good enough. Grease marks, dried food stuck to it. What's the CPS meant to do? Read it or try and work out what Tosh Lyons had for lunch? Frank.
Right. Well, I'll wave a big stick in the CID office, shall I?
Yes, if you would. Oh, and as you're interested, Frank, the memo's about a street crime initiative meeting at the Yard. I'll be there most of the afternoon. I'm meeting AC Renshaw.
Oh, yeah. Well, don't worry, Mum. I'll hold the fort for you.
Oh, and I'd like to see you at 6 o'clock, if that's possible, Frank. Go through our policy. Before Jasmine Allen community leaders arrive tomorrow. I'd like to try and make sure we don't contradict each other.
Good idea, Mum.
It's Paul's dog. That's my husband. He's been going on about getting one ever since he retired. I've always said no. But then a few weeks ago, well, they found this stray and... well, I don't know, I just gave in.
What sort of dog is it, madam?
I agreed that it could stay, as long as I didn't have to take it for walks. But then last night, Paul had to go to Scotland. His sister's had a relapse. Anyway, this morning, I put the dog in the garden and I left it there, and then there was all this barking, and I went out and it had dug up. I think you better go and have a look. Right. Would one of you stay with me?
June.
Well, you could take out an injunction, Mrs. McEwen.
Options on this one.
What have we got?
Well, two blokes claiming to be Jehovah's Witnesses, would you believe? They've taken about a grand's worth of valuables and pension books.
Donna Harris been any use?
Well, she's going through it now, but she doesn't give much chance.
If you say that your husband's
Look, I don't want to screen these out, Gov. They're old age pensioners.
Yeah, all right.
Right. Well, it looks like you're due for some ovies.
You won't get anywhere there, Gov. There's a moratorium on overtime as far as she's concerned.
Do you mind, Tosh? I'll decide that.
I was only saying...
I said I'd decide that. He gets some overtime, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's in the back garden.
Mrs. Jacobus. Christian name?
Celia. She's lived here for 2 years. She's on her own at the moment, though. There is a Mr. Jacobus. It's all right. I phoned him. He's alive and kicking.
Well, that's something.
Anyway, from the look of the thing in the back garden, I should think it's been there about a decade.
The nature of street robbery is such that once the crime has been committed, normal CID approaches to the problem, informants, research, targeting of suspects, don't often work, and certainly aren't cost-effective.
Essentially, it's an argument for police forces working in closer association with local communities. Nothing new there, perhaps. But I'd add to that the importance of the contributions from those communities, particularly from the private sector. Local business funding of advertisements in the press, local radio.
Well, it's definitely a man. Mid-40s, I'd say. Probably been there 6 years.
Probably.
Oh, it's difficult to be more accurate at this stage. The ground's quite waterlogged. There's quite a lot of clay in there, so it could be he's been there less time than that.
Any idea on it?
No, not even loose change. Oi! What the... Don't go near the body. Garfield, what are you playing at?
Well, the doctor and the photographer were finished, sir, so I thought it was best
Amipa on the way. They'll want to have a look.
Yes, sir.
Don't know who called you. Be hours yet.
A forensic ascertained the cause of death?
Not yet, but half the back of his skull's been caved in. I'd say that might have something to do with it.
You should take up the medical profession.
Do you want any help with a house-to-house?
It's a long shot.
That's all we've got, until dental records give us an ID. I don't reckon you get a result before AMIP get here.
Yeah, well, as soon as they do, I'm off. I need a 6-year-old corpse like a hole in the head. Joke.
Thanks, love. Ta. Who did you buy the place from?
Oh, I don't remember. My husband dealt with all that, but there are papers with the solicitor, I think. Stokes, Roach. He was a sort of student house before.
Can you remember the name of the estate agents who you bought the house from?
Williams.
Williams.
Afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon, sir. I heard you'd gone to AMIP.
Frank, what we got?
Jim! There's a lot of coming and going in your department these days, isn't there? Up and down between here and the yard.
Well, something I should know about?
Probably. I've heard the name Renshaw bandied about a lot lately.
Yes, so have I. I mean, I know who he is, obviously, but I've never met the man.
Well, he's the bloke who put your DCI in here.
Is he?
Well, that's the story. Apparently, there was a lot of pressure put on Mr. Brownlow to accept that appointment.
Well, what's she seeing him for, then?
Maybe he's going to stick a knife in your back.
Come off it, Sarge.
What do I know? But anyone who's got a sponsor like that behind them has got to be on the up and up. I'd think about that if I were you.
Biscuit?
No thanks, sir.
One of us ought to get back. Make sure the detective superintendent settled it. Very useful paper, by the way. Well done.
Oh, I think a lot of people should share the credit, sir.
I hope you'll be putting the theory into practice at Sun Hill, Charles.
Oh, yes, sir, of course. Now that I know that it meets with the Yard's approval.
The Yard can't form policy without the initiative being taken by officers on the ground. Don't let's get ourselves into a position where we simply wait for orders from above.
We only came down here to bring in my daughter. I mean, she never came to see us in Scotland. Not that she bothers much now.
Look, why don't you give her a ring? I really think it'd be a good idea to find somewhere else to stay tonight.
Well, that's one very good excuse for a visit. I don't want to stay in this damn place a minute longer.
Inspector Burnside, you say?
Yes. He's been at Sun Hill 3 years now. That's long enough for anyone. I mean, anyone with Frank's obvious leadership qualities.
He's made no applications, at least none that I know of.
No. I've always found Frank needs to be pushed towards these things. He is a very good inspector and he feels safe in the rank. But I think a new opportunity would open up a challenge to him.
You know your predecessor at Sun Hill, Gordon Ray? He tried to get Frank Burnside moved on.
Really, I didn't know that.
I think Gordon may have been a bit more honest about his feelings. He said he couldn't get on with him. Found him belligerent, obstructive. Turned any disagreement over policy into a personal battle. That's not your experience, though.
I admit I've had my differences with him, yes.
But you maintain he's a thoroughly capable officer.
Yes, of course, no one could deny that. Thank you.
No, let me. You remember you complained about him to me yourself a couple of months ago. Let's just get this problem into the right context, Kim.
It hasn't been easy for me, but there are genuine reasons for my suggesting he be promoted.
Yes, I'm sure there are. But I've never believed in solving a problem by shunting it somewhere else. If this is your way of telling me you can't cope with Frank Burnside, then it's something I'd really rather not be hearing. At least, not in any official capacity. Unofficially. Well?
I'd be grateful for your advice then, sir.
Don't let him exclude you, if that's what you think he's doing. He's your DI. Use him, sort him out. It'll do you more good than trying to remove him. You're too senior and considered too promising to get into personality battles, Kim. Especially in public.
Well, I'm going. I've got better things to do than watch people digging up someone's garden. And Brooks might be right about what's down there. Nah. 9 times out of 10, it's a domestic that got out of hand. He's just showing willing. After what happened at Meadows, lack of supervision and all that, he ain't taking any chances.
Sir? Sir, I think I found something.
That looks like we've got an identity.
All right.
No, that's C-R-U-I.
There's also a check guarantee card, and it's all in the same name, Crookshank.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's spelled C-R-U-I-K.
There you go, Gov.
S-H.
You even bagged it up for us after a fashion.
Cheers, Frank.
There's nothing more at the moment, but we're carrying on.
Right. Well, when they finish there, I want the house thoroughly searched.
Oh, that'll make us popular.
Yeah, well, I can't help that. She got alternative accommodation, anyone know?
That's been taken care of, sir.
Hello, yes. Oh, right. Have you got an address for him?
Look, did he use the card a lot? Really? Oh, it's great. Yeah, cheers. Well, listen, if you can fax that down to us, yeah?
Great. Thanks.
You got a pen?
A Robin Arthur Crookshank went missing in July 1988 from an address outside Chesterfield.
Right. Next to kin?
It was reported by his wife, sir.
Better get someone to contact her in Chesterfield. She might be able to identify some of this. Now it all begins in earnest.
Mrs. Marker,
Yes?
the man in the corner shop gave me your name, said you've been here longer than anyone.
Yes?
I was wondering if you remembered anyone who used to live at 66 Beasley Road, about 5 years back?
The students? Yes, I do. Very nice people. I don't remember all. I remember some. Very nice.
Sir, CRO know of a Crookshank from Chesterfield using a false licence while banned from driving in the 70s.
Great.
Yeah, but hang on a minute. His occupation says managing director. So I tried the fraud squad to see if they had anything, and they have. Robin Crookshank ran a travel agency that went bust in 1987. Lots of outstanding credit owing, apparently. No charges were brought against him, but they took a close look.
Get them to send us everything they got, will you?
On its way, sir.
Good girl.
So, a creditor after some lost dosh.
Could be. I want you to look after this fraud squad stuff when it gets in.
Yes, go.
So, we got an ID, possible motive. All we need now is a murder weapon, and we collected the set.
Sierra Oscar from 330 receiving.
Receiving.
I've got the name of a man who used to live at 66 Beasley Road in 1988, Sarge. The name is Jeremy Atwood. Address supplied, but he works at the local library, and he's there now.
Mrs. Crookshank's on her way down to London now, sir. About 4 hours.
Right, Frank. Be on hand to deal with her, will you, Viv?
Yes, sir.
All right, it won't be too pleasant. Look, I tell you what, go and see this Atwood bloke. Get yourself a bit of fresh air before the widow gets here.
I'll have to know, mate.
Detective Constable Lyons will go with you.
You know Detective Superintendent Brooks.
Of course. Good afternoon, sir. Sorry I wasn't here to welcome you aboard, but I'm sure the DI's coped.
We've been making some headway. Got a possible ID, anyway.
Shall I fill you in, Mark?
Yes, please, if you would.
Now then, Tosh.
Yes, sir.
Any more from the credit card companies?
Yes, sir. A couple of faxes through. Barclaycard and Access. Used on a regular basis till the beginning of July 1988. Then it all stopped.
Around the same time Crookshank went amongst the missing.
About 4 days before. Last purchase is on Barclaycard, Interflora.
Huh. That didn't do him any good, did it?
You want to see his statement, sir? He was spending money like water.
I hate murders, as it happens. You start off with a victim, then if you get someone for it, you usually end up with one. Give me a robbery any day.
Right, well, I'll make a start on it.
How'd you get on at the yard?
Very productive, Frank. Thank you.
Good. Oh, by the way, Mum, I gave Jim Carver some overtime tonight. Well, he's onto a couple of artifice burglaries, and he looks like he's got half a chance of nipping it in the bud. Hope you don't mind.
I'd have preferred it if you'd squared it with me first.
Well, I didn't think he'd mind me making the decision, as I was in loco parentis.
You've already told him he could have it.
He's on it now.
OK.
Fine. I'll catch you later, then.
Hello? Mr. Atwood?
Yes?
I'm WDC Martella from Sun Hill Police. This is DC Lyons.
Hiya.
Oh, come about the vandals.
No. I want to talk to you about 66 Beasley Road. I understand you used to live there a few years ago. Between 1987, 89?
Yes, what about it?
Well, can you tell me the names of any of the other tenants?
Some of them. Why?
Could you go through them for us, please?
Well, off the top of my head, there was David, of course, David Byrne, Sally Joseph. Then there was Martin and Judith. They had the 2 top rooms. Then, of course, there was Steve. He used to come and go a lot. Glaswegian.
Do you keep in touch with any of them?
Sally, yes. She's a teacher, not far from here. I don't know where Martin and Judith went.
What about this first man you mentioned, David Byrne?
Voluntary service, Middle East, wasting his talents.
When did he leave the country?
June, July, 88.
Does the name Robin Cruikshank mean anything to you?
No.
You mean he never visited the house, as far as you know?
No. Look, why are you asking all these questions anyway?
It's a murder inquiry, sir. A body believed to be that of Mr. Robin Cruikshank was dug up in the garden of your old house this afternoon.
Right, who's on for a pint at 6? I hope so. Not you, Jim. You're going to be busy.
Did you check with the DCI about some overtime, Gov?
I didn't, as a matter of fact. But you got it anyway. Better make it a quick one, Ted. I'm on a promise.
I wouldn't be too sure that's a favour he's just done you, Jim.
Sally Joseph. Sorry to trouble you. Sunhill Police.
Yes?
Did you ever know a man called Robin Cruikshank, Miss Joseph?
Not really. What was it about Beasley Road?
Was that a yes or a no, Miss Joseph?
Yes, but not very well.
Well, that's a start. Nobody else knew him.
What can you tell us about him? Miss Joseph.
I'm sorry, I wasn't expecting this. It's not every day I get visited by the police.
How well did you know him?
Well, not very well. I mean, I suppose I thought I knew him, but I didn't really know him at all. How well can you know someone?
I have to tell you that Mr. Cruikshank is dead, Miss Joseph. Did you already know that?
I'm sorry. Yes, I did. We were lovers. I killed him.
Was it an accident?
No. Not what you'd call an accident, anyway. He used to hit me, and I was miserable, and it annoyed him. And one Sunday we were at home because the others had all gone away for the summer. And we fought over I can't even remember what it was about. And, he shouted as usual and pushed me around. And I thought, no, he's not going to hit me. I'm going to hit him. So I
picked up a spanner and after I'd hit him once, I had to do it again and again because there was no going back, was there?
Why didn't you just leave him, Miss Joseph?
I didn't think you'd ever find me. Not now.
That is confirmed, is it? Only they're nearly at the end of the search if you want them to finish it off.
No, sir. The detective superintendent's satisfied. He doesn't want the occupier disrupted any further.
It'll make her day, Alec. All right, lads, that's it. You can start putting it all back now.
Congratulations, sir. Quick work.
Disproved half a dozen of my own theories along the way, but we got a result. Do you want to be in at the kill?
I'll look in on her later, sir.
Excuse me. The governor threw him out, and then the owner of the pub came. He says, "Who is that?" He said, "Don't worry, it's the Murphy twins again."
Frank!
Yes, ma'am?
Have you got a minute?
Well, not right now, no. I've got an appointment.
I thought we had something booked. The Jasmine Allen meeting tomorrow afternoon.
Ah, yeah, well, I thought in view of your inquiries with the detective superintendent that you'd be tied up. So I went ahead and booked something else. But don't worry, I'll be available in the morning.
I'm not worrying. I'd prefer to see you now, as we arranged.
Well, I'm sorry, Mum, but I'm afraid that's totally out of the question.
I think you and I are about due for an exchange of views.
Mum?
You're mucking me about, Frank.
Well, I've apologised, Mum.
What time will you be in tomorrow?
What time would suit you? 9? 9:30?
8.
8, then.
Make sure you're punctual, won't you? We've got a lot to discuss.
Mum.
Hello, Mum.
Hello, Viv. Good result.
Yeah. If I was on the bench, I know who I'd be convicting.
Yeah?
Yeah. That dog they took in at the house.
How is she?
Oh, all right, considering. I couldn't really tell her what I thought would happen. Anything from 2 years suspended to life, if they can convince a jury it was premeditated.
Any other mitigating circumstances? Sexual abuse?
Oh, naturally. Tosh reckoned they'd put her away because she had an education. She ought to have known better.
She did kill someone, Viv.
Yeah, I sort of know how she felt.
Taking a spanner to the back of a man's head?
Well, haven't you ever felt like that?
You want to know how often? Every day of the working week.
Preston, in the pub. You know Mickey Preston, Bee Relief. Him and Trevor Sharkey.
The gobby ones.
According to them, it's official.
What, upstairs?
In writing. Bee Relief for the superstars, and we're the stuff on the shovel.
This isn't an arrest factory, sir. You can't just threaten the workforce and expect more bodies to pop out the other end.
We can if there's slack to be taken up. The statistics show quite clearly that over the last 6 months, B Relief have made 50% more arrests than A Relief.
Or maybe that's because my relief are so red hot the villains keep their heads down when they're on duty.
Now you're taking it personally.
Yes, sir, I am. I simply do not believe that B Relief are a more motivated team than mine are.
Look, they've got officers clocking up arrests on every shift. Crime arrests. When you think there's a PC in Avon who's done 120 in a year. 120, Andrew. In Avon. This is London. The streets are paved with crime. You tell your lads to get their fingers out.
10? 10 on a Tuesday early turn? Preston's winding you up.
Bee Relief did 10 separate arrests. No D&Ds, nothing less than a going equipped. Anyway, I bet we can top it.
What?
I bet Preston and Sharkey that A Relief can do more than 10. Today, Tuesday early turn.
You can't do that.
I have. Anyway, the lads will rally round.
What, so you can win a bet?
To stop dipsticks like B Relief taking our name in vain. Isn't that right, George?
If Tony wants us to screw B Relief, that's fine with me. Bunch of ignorant posers, a lot of them.
All right, George, but I think the idea is that we make the arrest, not get done for reckless.
Oh, Norika in there?
Yeah,
She's looking for someone to arrest.
Ticket.
Tough.
£8.
I've already paid, Reg.
Oh, you two got yours?
Yeah.
Good. What's that then? Ticket, the charity disco tonight, Newman House. Bee relief have come across very strong. They've nearly all been here.
Buy your ticket, will you? And hurry up.
Any units, vicinity Malkin Square. Disturbance reported, second floor, outside number 2.
Proceed, Sierra 1 on way.
Find out what it is first. If it's a domestic, we don't want it. We haven't got time for marriage guidance.
ETA 2 minutes. Any details, Jim?
It's 2 women having a Barney.
Terrific.
If you don't want to listen, go indoors. It's my grandson she's taken. No, she wouldn't, you know. Oh, no. What have they done? They've gone up the pot. She's taken them to Kay, that little bitch. Just stop calling my daughter names, all right? She's a bitch. Shut up. Listen, shut up. I'll force you out good and proper you on gal.
Mum, for God's sake! Come on, ladies, that's enough.
Cow, she knows what's happened. She knows full well. I don't know anything.
Just calm down.
Look at her face, just like her daughter. A sly little bitch.
Mum, will you shut up? You're not doing any good. What's the problem? My baby's disappeared, along with the babysitter.
Sierra Oscar from 340 receiving.
Go ahead, 340.
Number 2, Malkin Square. Possible abduction of a 6-month-old baby.
Emma. Oh, don't listen to that old slag in there.
Yeah, all right, love. All right, just a minute, yeah? Tony's interviewing the father now, Mr. Ray Jarvis.
So, out all night, are you?
Yeah, we left here about 9 o'clock, taking my sister and her family to Heathrow, going back to Australia. Midnight flight. Well, Mum usually babysits, but, you know, she won't see the other grandchildren again for years, so she wanted to come to the airport.
Emma's babysat for you before, though?
Yeah, she's a good kid. Anyway, there's a big delay with the flight. Mum insists on waiting, so we're stuck there all night.
Did you phone to tell Emma?
No. Well, no, we arranged she'd sleep here anyway, just in case we were late. She's done it before. Keeps on the settee. I didn't want to disturb her.
So, basically, she and the baby could have left here any time between 9 o'clock last night and 6:30 this morning.
I just can't believe Emma would have taken him.
There's no sign of a struggle, mate.
We're not going to have to hang around for CID to arrive, I hope.
I don't know what you're doing in this job, mate. You're too compassionate.
We're not divorced or anything. Her kid as much as his. No, it's not our problem, and the clock's running.
Well, maybe it's not a tug of love.
Leave it out. It's not a decent marriage on this estate. You have to prove you're going to cock up your kids' lives before they let you move in. Any joy?
Nah, nothing. Morning.
We've done the old block. No one heard or saw anything. It's all yours.
Oh, cheers. This is Emma's room, Mrs. King.
Yeah. Look under the bed if you like. They're not here.
Does she ever bring Simon up here when she babysits?
No.
When did you last see her?
9 o'clock last night when she went down.
And how did she seem? Cheerful? Worried? Quiet?
Her usual self.
Happy?
Yes.
Nothing out of the ordinary about her then? Nothing she said or did?
No.
Can you think of anywhere at all that she might have gone? Relations? Friends? Her boyfriends, maybe?
Look, how many times do I have to tell you people this? She wouldn't go anywhere without telling me. She wouldn't take Simon anywhere. She's got no hang-ups about wanting a baby of her own. She's a good, sensible girl.
But she is friends with Mr. Jarvis's wife.
She's friends with the family. She's friends with everyone. She gets on with people. That's why she's asked to babysit. 'Cause she's a lovely kid.
Come on. I'm sorry. I know this is hard for you.
Anything could have happened and all you want is to blame Emma.
No, but it is a line of inquiry that we have to follow. Does she know where Mrs. Jarvis is living now? Do you know? Are you quite sure? Because until we can find her, we can't rule out the possibility that she's taken Simon, with or without Emma's help.
Yes, Derek. Very interesting.
You seen today's local rag? The latest crime survey? Apparently what the local population are interested in is litter and graffiti. On the basis of those statistics, perhaps we should issue a relief with some scrubbing brushes and black bags.
Naturally you are. And I understand that.
Marion, what have we got in the diary?
But obviously their major concern is for the baby. And like I said, I'm not on the shop floor anymore. And I'm sure they're doing everything properly. Look, I'm sorry, I really must go now. Yeah, bye-bye. Sorry about that, sir. They put it through from the CAD room. Stella King. The mother of the missing person.
Friend of yours?
No, not really. I used to play football with her old man before he went over the side and never came back. But I haven't seen her for years.
Well, why don't you call round?
Sir?
Well, you're on inquiries this morning, aren't you? Call round. A friendly face can be very reassuring.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
£8 for a disco organised by Reg Hollis.
Does include buffet.
Oh, yeah, what, like last time? A packet of peanuts between 200 of us.
Can you just watch your side, please?
I am watching.
Only we are looking to nick people. I mean, that is our job, right?
I'm watching!
We were going to move out a bit. Like you and Shirley. Then Alan did his runner, so... that was that.
Ever hear from him? And Emma?
Which is good, really. I'm grateful to him for that. He wanted to go. That's the price he was willing to pay. A lot of men want the cake and eat it.
And women don't? What about Ray Jarvis's wife?
Kelly couldn't care less about that baby.
She told you that?
It's common knowledge.
Why did you phone me, Stella?
I honestly don't know. It was stupid. I just wanted to talk to somebody in the job who'd understand, who knew Emma.
I knew her when she was 3. I don't know her now.
She hasn't changed. Life just shines out of her. It's the only way to describe it.
She's a lucky girl.
So no way could she do anything bad, that's the point. No way.
It's an ideological problem to me, you see, Marika. Naturally, I'd like to put one over on B Relief. They've said some very unjust things about me in my time as Federation rep. But as Federation rep, I have to view any sudden spurt in productivity as a dangerous thing. Now, look, because management are always, by definition, looking for more for less, if we give them more for nothing, where will it all end, eh?
Right, just go just timber home today.
No, it's closed Tuesday, open Sundays. Plus the fact that the rising crime figures quite clearly indicate a need not for greater productivity, but for more resources.
Well, they've got a couple of misinformed customers then.
What?
Just gone over the wall.
Oh, no.
Doing it yourself, boys.
Die! Let's go and find your mate.
Get off! Get off! Sierra Oscar from 181 receiving.
Receiving.
2 youths arrested at Scourge's timber yard. Can we have some transport, please?
Rick, the score done? It's a start.
So what exactly is riding on this? You haven't told us what you stand to make from our efforts.
Nothing.
If you win, you get nothing?
Yeah.
What sort of bet's that?
There's no money involved.
The honour of the relief?
Yeah. Yeah, look. Bloke up ahead.
Eh?
Worth for Paul, yeah?
Yeah, all right. Yeah, just a second, mate, yeah.
Excuse me, sir. Do you mind telling us what you got in that sack?
Why? What do you think it is?
I don't know, sir. Now, what's this used for?
Picking me nose.
It's a dibber, Tony.
What?
You use it for making holes.
Oh, yeah?
In the ground, planting stuff.
On me allotment.
All right.
340 from Sierra Oscar, receiving over.
Yeah, receiving.
Can you do pick-up at Skerridge's Timber Yard, please?
Sorry, we've got our hands full at the moment. King Edward's.
Say again?
Tony thought we had a gun equipped, but we haven't.
Let me know if Stamp does any more stops. The complaints figure's one thing that doesn't need bumping up.
Sir.
Cheers, Steve.
New heads for A relief.
No, it's not thick enough.
The owner of the yard's on scene now. He estimates the value of the timber they were trying to steal at 50 quid.
How old are you, Tommy?
13.
13. What about you, Jackie?
11.
11. We'll have to get your mum and dad down here so we can talk about this. Can you tell me where you live?
No.
Do you live on the Fairways estate, Jackie?
No.
Sierra 1 from Sierra Oscar.
Sierra 1 receiving.
Can you go to the Fairways estate, please, and contact a on Mrs. Tyso? That's Tango, Yankee, Sierra, Oscar, Echo at Athens House, number 53. Their sons, Tommy and Jackie, are in custody here, and their presence would be appreciated.
So, you want us to bring one of them in if they're at home?
As soon as possible,
Don't ask her
please.
that.
Sierra 1 on way.
Free taxi rides for Slag now.
Relax.
We are supposed to be feeling collars.
Well, look, keep your eyes open on the fairways and we might cop something there.
There, leg full of dog's teeth.
You see, you're just prejudiced. They're all human beings, you know.
That's what's so depressing.
They are 53.
Mrs. Tyso, your two boys have been at it.
Yeah, if you could just spare us a few minutes, please, love, down at the station.
Oh, Sarge, there's Mrs. King at the front desk. Says she wants to speak to you.
Right, who's next?
All right, love?
Okay, Ellison, stop.
I found Emma's phone book. It's got Kelly's name in it with a new number.
And the address? No, that's all right. It's all right. Don't worry.
Kelly Jarvis. I believe she used to work for you. Only we need to contact her. But you must have some sort of personnel record, surely.
If you can think of a quicker way of tracing the absent mother, you tell me. She's an only child, both her parents are dead, and there is no suggestion she's moved in with another guy.
You sure about that? Yeah, Bob.
Kelly Jarvis's phone number.
OK. I'll hold on.
How come you never found that?
Obviously hasn't got Uncle Bob's charm.
Trace it and get round there.
Right.
There you go.
Thanks very much.
I'll come in with you, love.
These are your sons, Mrs. Tyso?
They are what they're supposed to have done, like.
They were caught stealing planks of wood from Skerridge's timber yard.
Stealing? Get away, man. They're too young to know right from wrong.
Not according to the law, Mrs. Tyso.
But they're under age.
I'm sorry?
They're not 10 yet. And that's the what do you call it? The age of criminal responsibility, isn't it?
Can we, Quinnan, wait, please. Take a seat. When your sons were brought in, Tommy told me he was 13. How old do you say he is?
9.
9? What you feed him on, giraffe extract?
His father's very tall.
Tommy told me he was 13, Mrs. Tyso.
Well, they all like to think they're older than they are, don't they? And Tommy's got a complex about his height.
What about Jackie?
He's 7.
Not 11.
It might have sounded like 11 when he said it, but the poor little kid's got awful trouble with his speech.
What's up?
Birth certificate's required.
DC Carver from Sierra Oscar, receiving over. over.
Receiving over.
Message from Viv Martello.
Oh, not another former employer. This Jarvis woman's had more jobs in a week than a Boy Scout.
We traced a telephone number. The subscriber, Mr. Michael Kibiri, address 116 Nellfield Road.
Hi, Viv.
All right.
Yeah?
Is that one over there? Front or back, Tosh?
Could be a lot of stairs. I'll do the back, eh?
All right. All right, Jim.
Well done.
There's no names. Ring them all. Oh, excuse me, mate. Kelly Jarvis? Do you know which flat?
No idea.
Right phone number, anyway.
Viv.
Police! Get out!
You Kelly Jarvis?
No.
Is that your baby?
Yeah, why? I'm Kelly Jarvis. What do you want?
Lorraine's an old school friend. I won't be staying there long. Them stairs are a killer. Plus her kid makes more air than Simon.
When did you last see Simon?
When I left.
When you left your husband, you mean?
Yeah.
3 months ago.
Is it?
What about Emma King? When did you last see her?
Same.
Only she's got your Nellfield Road phone number. We thought she might have been in touch with you.
Yeah, but I ain't seen her. She just phones now and then. She's a worrier. Concerns herself.
What does she worry about?
Me. She can't understand how I feel. Or don't feel. I don't know. I didn't want Simon, right? I hated being pregnant. I hated giving birth. I didn't actually hate him after he was born. Not hate. I never hurt him. I didn't feel anything, really. Except worn out. Worn out at 23. What's the point?
You're his mother.
Well, that's his hard luck. But I thought if I got out when I did, we'd both get over it.
What about your husband?
Yeah, well, that was another big mistake, weren't it? It was good. You know, fun, exciting. And then you're married, and it's a telly every night. Plus her, of course.
Ray's mum?
Yeah. Men have to have mothers, I suppose, but it don't half screw things up. Perhaps you could find Simon and lose her instead.
What is she doing up there? She's had time to give birth to a couple more. Never mind find their certificates. Don't touch the car, Sonny.
Why don't you nick him? 4. Breathing. Here she is.
You'll stay with your Auntie Pat again, all right?
Go via Tesco, shall we? Get your shopping in.
This certificate's in the name of Ronald James Tyso, not Tommy.
Tommy's his nickname. It's a family tradition.
What year were you born, Ronald?
1982.
Are you asking me or telling me?
Telling?
What about you, Jackie?
He's not very good with dates.
When were you born, Jackie?
5th of May, 1984.
5th of May, 1984.
Got any younger brothers at home?
Lots?
One called John Anthony?
No, I'm called John Anthony.
Doesn't seem to be having a lot of trouble with his speech now, Mrs. Tyso.
I'm here, he feels safe.
Take him home, and Ronald too. Marika!
Sarge.
These people are free to go. Show them off the premises, please.
But I've just finished my IIB.
Tear it up.
Sarge?
And get Loxton to take the loser his wood back.
But they were banged to rights. I've just spent 2 hours.
I could spend 2 years trying to prove which one's Tom, which one's Harry, and end up being Dick. Now get them on their bikes.
So we don't get a result?
Oh, yes, we do. I live longer.
Right. This way, please.
Sierra 1 from Sierra Oscar receiving over.
Receiving.
Regarding the Tyso family.
We're at the other end of the ground. Sorry.
They've been released. No charge. I just thought you'd like to know. Message timed at 11:35.
So, the old score sheet's still blank then?
I'll commit the crimes and you nick me. I'll start with GBH on Alec Peters.
This has got to be more than just reputation. Come on, Taylor, look, how much you really got on the line with Preston then, eh? Score? 50? You haven't done 100, have you?
I haven't done a halfpenny.
Well, at the rate of no arrests per hour, you'd have done the lot.
All we said, right, was that at tonight's disco, if we beat B Relief's tally, then they'll dance the conga, at Preston and Sharkey. And if we don't, we will. You and me.
The conga?
Yeah.
You and me?
Yeah.
That's all that's at stake?
Yes.
Have you lost a spring or something?
Butt naked.
What?
The losers dance butt naked.
Bob, Stella King. I hear you have a rapport. Wondered if I could park her with you for half an hour, see what evolves.
What?
Look, now the baby's mother's out the frame, we've got to rethink. I've invited interested parties in for a chat. Carver's out collecting them now. So how about it?
Come on, Frank. I don't subcontract for the CID.
Oh, I see. Strictly hand-holding, is it? Victim support?
I think she's getting a bit of a raw deal with this conspiracy theory.
I'd had a couple of drinks. Preston and Sharkey were getting right up my nose. Bottle out, if you like.
I don't remember bottling in. If I was a closet streaker, I'd have told you, yeah?
I said I'm sorry,
oh,
OK?
Look, just shut it and find us some crime, will you? All we need now is a football team committing burglary and we're home and dry.
Here we go, look.
What?
Kid. Back there, messing with a motor.
Right, come on, come on.
There you go. It's away.
Well, I hope he hasn't nicked it as a getaway car. His mates will be well disappointed. Go for it, then. He'll be having a second gear if you're not careful. PNC check, please. Vehicle ident. Lima
please,
Mike Yankee 159 Whiskey.
Your car, is it?
No.
Do you know the owner?
No.
So you haven't got permission to drive it?
No.
Name?
Moffat, Lee Moffat.
Address?
Yeah, number 39.
OK, Mr Moffat. Any reason why I shouldn't nick you for unauthorised taking and driving away?
It's dumped. It's got council stickers on it. It's been lying out there in the road for months.
You're still nicked.
Reg, you did not work through your meal break. You just took the official time for once.
Excuse me! Excuse me! Quick, round the bin chamber, there's a woman being attacked.
Which way, love?
Through and to the right. Quick, he's a maniac.
Sierra Oscar from 181 receiving.
Oh, get out! Get off! Get off!
Get off! Slags the lot of you! Go on, get out of here!
Hey! Come here.
You want some as well, do you, copper?
Are you all right, love? You all right? Look after her.
Okay, come on.
Oh! Get off! Get...
What's going... Reg!
Watch it! Don't stand behind it.
What?
You're right.
Yeah, all right, all right.
Disconnect the battery. Please disconnect the battery. That's it.
Filth.
Makes you feel like a criminal being brought in here.
Well, I have tried to explain, Mrs. Jarvis. To find baby Simon, we need your help. Talking things through again might help you remember something, anything. The tiniest things are important sometimes.
Taking and driving away, it's got to be.
But he only drove it 100 yards.
Oh, sorry.
Does the law state a minimum required distance?
Tony, enforcing the law has got to have some point. What is the point?
It's not his motor.
But who else wants it? The previous owner obviously doesn't, otherwise he wouldn't have dumped it. The council don't because it would cost them an arm and a leg to tow away junk.
I want an unauthorised taking.
Well, you're not getting it. If you really want to nick someone, go after the Tysos. They've walked away with my pen. Oh.
Sorry, Sarge.
Watch it.
Do you have any enemies, Ray? Anyone who might have taken Simon out of sheer spite?
Enemies? Me? Nah. I can't even stand arguments on TV.
The babysitter, Emma King. Your mum seems a bit against her. Why do you think that is?
Just a reaction. Shock. You feel you want to blame someone, don't you?
So she likes her, really?
Nah, not a lot. She don't like Emma's mum, that's more it.
She don't like Stella? Why's that?
I think she's a bit jealous, to be truthful, because of Emma being such a smashing kid. Mum thinks she's a bit too good to be true.
Oh, yeah? And what do you think?
It's like I say, innit? Sour grapes. Mum's own daughter, my sister in Australia, well, she's a bit of a ratbag, if the truth be told.
So you like Emma?
Yeah, of course.
A lot?
How do you mean?
Do you trust her?
Well, I wouldn't let her babysit if I didn't, would I?
Actual bodily harm?
Yes, Sarge. And threatening behaviour. There's a bit of a feud going on.
Well, I can see he'd terrorise the whole estate providing the lifts were working. George, is there something I should know?
Pardon?
I've had Narika throwing a fit over a couple of planks of wood. I've had Stump and Quinnan arresting people for tidying up the streets. And now you've started on disabled geriatrics. Are you trying for some kind of record?
Sarge?
Prize prawn of the year in uniform, something like that?
Oh, no, nothing like that, Sarge.
Are you going to stick me on or what?
Sarge, he has put Narika in hospital. He ran her over. And Reg.
In that?
Yeah. And the girl was terrified. Just getting a statement after she's dropped the other two off a casualty.
What's this all about, Mr. Stack?
Ask the council.
I'm asking you.
That block's meant for old people. They've got no right putting homeless in there.
You don't like your neighbours?
They're not neighbours, they're slag. Loud music all night, shouting and screaming, rubbish all over the place. I moved out of a slum to live on that estate. I'm not having it turned into another one.
Did you threaten Sonia Darby?
I'll threaten you if you let your kids wee outside my front door.
Did you assault 2 police officers?
They assaulted me. This thing's a right-all.
Oh, yeah, is that why you said you want some as well, do you, copper?
I'm the one in the wheelchair. She's the one who gets all the handouts. She's a parasite.
Sorry, Mr. Stack, that doesn't give you the right to behave like a Dalek. We'll start with threatening behaviour. All right with you, Garfield?
Yes, Sarge, fine.
You in full-time work, right?
Yeah. Gas board.
Can't be easy. Looking after Simon? Or do you leave it all up to your mum?
Nah, I wouldn't do that.
Must be a strain, though. Especially now Kelly's gone.
Well, having him taken's a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah, of course. Do you miss her? Your wife?
Yeah, of course. But it's like they say, innit? Babies make some marriages and break others. We got it wrong.
You reckon Simon broke your marriage? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's not his fault. It's mine. For talking her into it.
I'm not with you. Talking her into what?
Kelly. Trying for a baby.
What, you regret that?
Well, obviously, yeah. In a way. I still love her. If we never had Simon, she'd still be here, wouldn't she?
Find me a minute.
You're not serious about this, are you?
What?
Fathers do not dispose of their children in the hope of getting their wives back. It's a crazy idea.
The world is full of crazy people. That's why you and I are in work. Guilt, Ted, guilt. Love. Someone to blame.
Right.
Who knows what goes on in people's heads?
What about Emma?
Thanks very much.
Did he dispose of her too?
I don't know. Maybe they're in it together.
Gov, good news. Looks like the baby's been found.
We'll bring Mr. Jarvis to the hospital.
Received.
Teller Street Lorry Park, found by a lorry driver.
Any sign of the girl?
No.
Baby's clothing and carry cot both fit the description given. Found to be hungry, but otherwise unharmed. Apart from nappy overload. Oh, the ambulance has just arrived, sir.
He's all right. Everything's going to be okay. Ready when you are.
Yeah. Thanks.
So, our Emma. Did she dump and run or what?
Maybe the baby's incidental. Maybe Emma is the real target. It's her that's been taken.
Where are you going?
I'm going for a jimmy.
We haven't got time for a jimmy.
I'm going anyway.
A relief have bust the wheelchair mafia, then I see. I'm impressed, which is more than B relief will be. Da 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 da.
Wait,
da da da.
Have you heard?
Some of us fraternise with the enemy. Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. So are your trousers if the worst comes to the worst.
Oh, I was only out the door for a couple of seconds, putting the milk bottles out.
Teenage girl on her own?
Nah.
With a baby?
A baby?
Mm.
Nah.
A girl with anyone else?
What, a bloke?
Or a woman?
Nah.
I don't stand at the window looking out all night. I've got to tell you, you know.
Yes, I do appreciate that, sir. Is there anybody else at home might be able to help?
Oh, the wife's in bed. She works nights.
Oh. Well, what time did she go out last night?
About 11:30. You got a new system at her place, see? Midnight till 8. Oh, she don't like it, but it suits me fine. I don't get a cold feet in me back so early in the morning.
Yeah, any chance I might be able to speak with her?
Did you see a car? Just a car?
What sort of a car?
Well, any car that's not usually here.
Nah.
Sarge!
Mrs. Morby says she noticed the car about 11:30 last night.
Round the corner in Tallow Street, blue Cortina, going quite slow, 2 blokes in it.
2? Well, it could possibly have been the girl, Sarge. I mean, she has got short hair.
You see the registration?
No. Reason I noticed it all was they come past twice. I think they may have thought I was at home.
There was no forced entry at the flat, Stella. So either someone had a key that the Jarvis family didn't know about, or Emma let someone in. Now, we've checked out all the friends you gave us details of this morning. So how about a boyfriend?
I told you that as well. She hasn't got any, she's too young.
Well, maybe she had one you didn't know about.
No. We don't have secrets. We share everything.
But you didn't know she had Kelly's phone number?
There was a boy. Months ago. Only she broke up with him. Bob knows him. Mark Fremantle.
Oh.
She hasn't seen him for months.
You should have told us about this. You should have told us.
She hasn't seen him. They broke up.
Look, could I get in on this conversation? Who is Mark Fremantle?
He used to hang around with my Patrick, but he's such a headbanger, even Patrick gave him the elbow.
He's not a headbanger. He was really nice to her, just very clingy, that's all. It wasn't healthy. Emma's too young.
You should have told us.
Sorry, could one of you,
Oh.
For God's sake, Stella, this is very important information, and you've known that all along.
She hasn't seen him for months.
This doesn't matter.
It honestly never occurred to me not to start with. I thought it must be to do with Kelly. Then it did occur to me and I rang you. And then I decided I was being stupid because Simon's gone as well. And why would Mark and Emma take the baby if they planned to go off together?
You think this is possible? You think this is what's happened?
I stopped her seeing him. We had a massive row about it. The only one we've ever had.
But you don't have any secrets. Now you're telling me she's going behind your back, running off with a guy like Fremantle. And you can't tell me because you can't face that.
But why last night? Why would they take the baby?
This Mark Fremantle. Does he own a blue Cortina?
Mark Leslie Fremantle, age 19, latest known address 4 Remain Grove.
That's a hostel, isn't it?
Yeah, resettlement.
Confirmed, Tosh.
On our way.
He's been knocking people about since the age of 3, except when he's been in psychiatric care. Do you know about all this?
Only that last ABH.
And Mum's worried about breach of trust. She'd be better off worrying about breach of neck.
I told you, he hasn't been back.
Cheers. 11 last night?
Yeah.
Did he tell you where he was going?
These are grown people.
Do you know his car number?
It's an L Reg, something 640.
Oh, right.
Jim?
That's great. Thanks a lot. Bye.
No, if we need any more.
Baby's A-OK.
Okay.
Good.
Youth and community. When he was in care 5 years ago, Fremantle tried to top himself.
How did they meet? Stella?
She used to help out her newsagents on a Saturday morning. He came in for a packet of fags. And he asked her out, and she asked me if it was okay. And I said, let me see him first. And he did come round to the flat. I mean, he was quite open. And there wasn't that much wrong with him. Not bad looking. Scruffy. Aren't they all? And she was never late home or anything. But then it started getting heavy. Phone calls all hours of the day and night. Really over the top, like he was obsessed with her. In the end, I wouldn't let her answer the phone anymore. I always spoke to him instead. I think she was glad, really. I honestly and truly think she just felt sorry for him.
Juliet Kilo Mike, 640 Lima.
Shouldn't we be looking for this motor?
Yeah.
Still got 25 minutes left anyway. Look on the bright side. Disco might get cancelled. No, Reggie's probably double booked it with the badminton club. We'll be able to borrow a couple of shuttlecocks.
All units from Sierra Oscar. Disturbance at the Cambridge Arms, Maydell Street. Urgent assistance required, please.
The Cambridge. Hoo-yah! Make my day. Yuppie punch-up.
It's a rugby club lunch gone pear-shaped.
When you say rugby, you mean as in 15 big, hairy men?
What?
ETA, 2 minutes. We'll do half of them for assault and the other half for theft.
Hold on, we don't know what they've done yet.
Leave it out. There's bound to be some ABH, and rugger players always nick things.
You should know.
Sierra 1 from Sierra Oscar receiving, over.
Sierra 1 receiving.
Can you go to Suter's Wharf, please? That's Suter's Wharf off Lintire Way.
She's winding us up.
We're on a shout, Sierra Oscar, to Cambridge Arms, yeah?
This is a priority call. Possible sighting of car owned by Mark Fremantle.
Who?
Mark Fremantle, boyfriend of missing person Emma King. Please contact a Mr. Perry at Mill Reach. Can you confirm, please?
Sierra 1 on way. Second right, Tony. Next right. Mr. Perry?
Yeah. Keeps parking over there, driving off for a bit, then coming back. Been doing it for hours.
How many on board?
One. About 20. Brown jacket, dark hair.
We'll have a scout round.
Sierra Oscar from Sierra 1 receiving.
Receiving.
We found the Cortina. Looks like Fremantle on board. Oh well, that's you and me for the conga, mate.
Stuff the conga. Sort him out.
Mark Fremantle. You all right, mate?
Where's Emma?
Mark?
Where is she?
Easy. Call in. She may have legged it.
Yeah, I'll be halfway to Tilbury.
Call in.
Sierra Oscar 595 receiving.
Receiving.
We've made contact with Mr. Perry. We're now at Suter's Wharf.
What's happened,
No
Mark?
sign of the Gulf. Wait one.
She said okay. She said okay, you can come and talk. I'll listen. This is Emma, is it? That's all I wanted. Yeah? For her to listen to me.
We've found Fremantle. He's off his trolley. Dave's being subtle. Can we have some reinforcements for a search, please? I reckon the girl's here somewhere.
Receive 595. Additional manpower is being organised.
I'll speak to Conway. Can you tell me where she is, Mark? She let me in like she said she would. But the baby was screaming. Screaming like it was right inside here. She wasn't listening to me. Just the noise. When you love someone, when you're asking them to let you live, you don't want that noise in here. No, I understand. Dave? So what did you do? What did you do, Mark? Did you go in the car? I wanted her to come in the car. But she wouldn't. Not without the baby. Did you take the baby in the car? Shut up. Like magic. But whenever we stopped to talk, it started again. You stopped in the lorry park, yeah? I slung it out there. That noise. She'd been kidding me. She shouldn't have been kidding me, should she? Not when she knew that I was dead without her. How had she been kidding you, Mark? Because that baby meant more than I did. Yeah? And when it was gone, she started screaming too. Louder. Louder than the baby in here. So I stopped her. How did you stop her? Mark? When you love someone, when you're talking to them, you don't want that noise in here. You want quiet. Mark. It's quiet here. Mark, look at me. Look at me. Is Emma here now? Huh? Huh? Where is she, Mark? Is she okay? But tell me where she is, then we can help you sort this thing out, eh? I don't want to know. Of course you do. That's why you're still here. Look, mate, tell me where you put her. Huh? She's up the end. What? What end? What, the old dock? Huh? The old dock? In the water? Tony! Up the other end! The old dock! Sierra Oscar from Sierra 1 receiving.
Ambulance. She's alive.
Ambulance urgently required. Suitors
Easy,
Wharf.
though.
We found the girl.
Baby, all right.
She's alive.
Quiet now. It's all over.
Mill Reach, on the riverside, left of the old warehouses.
Emma's safe, sir.
Thank you, June. Let's hope they've also arrested someone so we can put a tick in the little box.
It's okay, love. Your mum will be there waiting.
Nice result, chaps.
Never mind that. What did we score at Cambridge?
Nothing. TSG got there first.
There you go. Just in sight of the conga.
Reg, I wanted to come, but there's no way I'm going to be able to dance, is there?
Rubbish. You hold on to me, I'll hold on to your crutch.
I don't think so.
This is what's meant by dress optional, is it? In my office, 9 o'clock tomorrow. Preferably with your boots on.
Where's the general, mate?
What?
The general.
Over there.
I heard you were looking for Sparks.
Yeah?
Well, I'm your man.
As you know, sir, the new kitchen units were stolen from a house on the site where they were being stored sometime during the night of the 3rd.
Everything including the kitchen sink, I understand.
Quite. But the fact that they were lifted within 12 hours of being delivered suggests that whoever took them knew exactly when they were coming, which means someone on the inside.
Have we run the names of the employees of the PNC? Everyone on site, the kitchen company and the distributors. And? Not an unpaid parking ticket between them, sir.
So Frank thought that a man on site for a few days could turn something up.
Quinnan was an electrician before he joined the Met, amongst other things.
We don't have anyone in CID qualified for the job.
Is that all right with you, Derek?
Anything to help CID, sir.
Got your tools with you?
In the van.
What'd you say your name was?
David.
Davy Quinnan! God, I thought it was you!
Robbie! Robbie Telfer!
You know each other? Know each other? This man is my alter ego. We were on the rigs together off Aberdeen. When was it, 84?
85.
85, aye. What are you doing here?
Well, hopefully getting a job.
What? I thought I'd heard that you'd joined the police.
Me? A copper? You've got to be joking.
Oh, well, I thought it sounded a bit weird, like. So what have you been doing since 1985?
LEB.
Not anymore.
Privatisation. I was rationalised.
Oh, come on, Pete. He's a good man with a bit of fuse wire, believe you me. He's my mate. All right. Start on number 7. Needs a couple of lighting circuits looped in.
Right, cheers.
I'm Peter Glover, by the way. Show him where the cable and everything is, Robbie. Right, yeah, Pete. Thanks. Come on.
Oh, thanks. For a moment there, I thought he was going to tell me to get on my bike.
He was. I mean, he's not a bad bloke, Pete, like, but he's been under a lot of pressure lately because of that trouble we had last week. He nearly got the job because of it.
Yeah, what was that?
60 grand's worth of fitted kitchen went walkies one night.
60 grand?
Aye. Somebody around here made a few bob out of it, I'll tell you that.
Yeah? So, what have you been doing since Aberdeen then, Robbie?
Ah, listen that, you know. A wee bit of woodwork, as is my want. Right, it's a consumer unit there, look.
Oh, right.
Here, you remember Betty?
Do I? Big Betty? Seaman's Rest?
Yeah, I married her.
Well, I don't know. That's down to you.
How's it going? Have you any idea how many kitchen fitting companies there are in the Greater London area, Gav?
Yeah, well, leave no stone unturned, Michael. I mean, 13 fitted kitchens cannot just vanish into thin air.
No, oh well. Thanks for your time anyway.
Anything from Quinnan?
No.
Well, you better pray he comes up with something. I'm off till late. You're in charge, Ted.
Nice to see you.
All right. Replacement kitchens?
Hey? Oh, yeah.
Right.
I've just been on the blower to London Electricity, LEB as was. And their personnel department says they've never heard of David Quinnan.
Yeah, all right. I never worked for the LEB. You see, the thing is, I ain't been that well recently. Booze. Me work records. Well, not exactly something to shout about. I just thought if I told you the truth, you know, I wouldn't get the job.
You thought right. Ha!
It's me own.
Nothing personal, it's just that I've got no time for guys who ain't straight with me, okay?
You want what?
Protection.
Oh, what, round the clock or what?
From your stepdad, he's gonna kill me.
Yeah, well, in my humble opinion, not a moment too soon. Should have been drowned at birth. Would have saved us all a lot of bother.
Look, are you gonna help me?
But what exactly is the nature of your complaint against your stepfather?
He's threatened to kill me.
Yeah, and what you been up to this time, eh? Bit of shoplifting? Burglary?
Nothing.
Oh, I see. A completely unprovoked death threat, eh?
Yeah, he's an animal. All right, I got a bit of paint on the carpet.
Oh. Paint?
I was doing up my bike.
On the carpet?
It was raining outside.
A lot of paint? Yeah, well, Craig, mate, it sounds to me as if you deserve everything you've got coming. Next!
But you don't understand, he's gonna kill me.
Yeah, but when he does, we'll know what to look for, won't we? Next!
Priceless.
I had to tell him something, Skip.
I was a teenage alcoholic.
What about this Telfer character? Could he be in on it?
Robbie Telfer, he ain't been.
How do you know?
He's an old mate of mine. He's a really good bloke, Sarge. I know.
But you think he might know something?
Possibly. Look, I'm meeting him for a drink in a bit, you know, talk about the old days.
I thought you were supposed to be an alcoholic.
There is,
Is there something else on your mind, Dave?
Well, it's just that the replacement kitchens arrived this morning, and the driver's face rang some very loud bells.
George, where are you?
Devlin Road, Sarge. Just heading back to the Nick.
Could you make a detour via Kane Square?
Report of a U3 spraying a car.
What's wrong with that?
It's not his car.
Yeah, got that, Sarge. Left at the top here, Kath.
The driver.
Max Taylor, are you sure?
Yep. Just finished 3 years for robbery. Got out 2 months ago.
So much for computers. Mike, have you got that list of employees for the kitchen company?
Yeah.
M. Tyler. The criminal imagination. Pathetic, really.
Max Taylor, M. Tyler.
Yeah, you got it. Mike, you and I are going to pay a little visit to Gruber Kitchens. This little mystery needs clearing up.
Do you think I should still speak to Telfer?
Oh, yes, Dave. Golden rule of working in CID. Tell him, Mike.
Take nothing for granted.
Well, well, well. Craig Turnbull. Redecorating cars, eh? That's a new one for you, innit?
What's all this about, Craig?
Detective Sergeant Roach, Sunhill CID. This is Detective Constable Dashwood.
Ah, yes, of course. I'm sorry. I'm terrible on names, and it was only last week, wasn't it?
Don't worry about it, Mr. Meta. Just as long as you can give us a name to fit this. Does he work here?
Yes, it's Max Tyler, one of our drivers.
Max Tyler?
Yes, that's right.
Do you know where he is now?
He's out on a job. Why?
Robbie.
Oh, Davey, I'm just starting to think you weren't going to show.
Oh, don't be silly.
Pint and a half a better, please, love.
No, thanks. Just an orange juice for me, please, Robbie.
Well, no, that's not for you. It's for Betty. Hope you don't mind, like, give her a call. She's dying to see you again. An orange juice as well, please, love.
Plain honest theft too tame for you, eh, Craig? Fancied a bit of mindless vandalism instead. How many cars?
Just the one, Sarge. Silver BMW. Only now it's got fluorescent stripes.
Well?
I want a brief.
Yeah, I think we'd better inform your parents first, don't you?
No, no way.
It's the law.
Well, I want something from the social. That's allowed, isn't it?
What's going on here, Craig?
Ask the clown out front.
Hollis?
Hollis, Sarge.
Ah, this is Tyler.
Let's go and say hello, shall we?
I suppose it's moments like this that make the job for you, eh, Sergeant?
Yeah. Mr. Taylor? Hello, Max. DS Roach, Scannell CID.
So it never occurred to you how strange it was that Craig Turnbull should actually come in here and ask us for help?
Social services will be about 30 minutes, Sarge.
Right, let Mr. Munro know, will you?
Sarge.
That he might actually need our help.
Yeah, well, of course it crossed my mind, Sarge, but I mean, a thieving little toe rag like that. Well, who knows what he's got going on upstairs, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, Davey, I thought Pete was right out of order giving you the push like that, man.
Oh, well.
Are you gonna be, you gonna be okay?
Eh? Oh, I don't want none of your day, Robbie. Mind you,
What?
Well, let's put it this way. I could have done with a piece of that business last week, you know?
Yeah, well, sorry, Davey, you're speaking the wrong man.
What, who should I be talking to then? Oh, well. Worth a punt when you're skint, eh? What?
No, it's just that, I mean, if we are short of cash, then we might be able to do each other a wee favour.
Yeah?
Yeah, only... Well, it's not strictly kosher, if you know what I mean.
What isn't?
Have you got a credit card?
Hypothetical situation, Sarge.
Yeah?
Suppose an officer's got a mate who he finds out is bent.
It wouldn't be the first time, would it?
No.
And he wants to know whether he should shop him or not. How bent is bent?
Credit cards.
What, one off?
Regular.
Well, if it's minor, he could have a word with his mate. Bit of advice, a warning. But credit cards is not a victimless crime, is it? What's he doing exactly? I mean, hypothetically speaking.
Gets a mate to apply for a credit card. Then the mate gives it to him when it arrives. A week or so later, tell the credit card company it hasn't shown up.
And in the meanwhile, they use it, and whatever they make, they split 50-50.
Yeah.
Well, I think the officer's got to decide whether he wants to be a copper or not. Doesn't he?
Yeah. Thanks, Sarge.
Come in.
Mr. Austin from the Social Services Department, sir.
Craig Turnbull. Has PC Garfield filled you in on the situation?
He has. Sounds very much like a cry for help to me.
Expensive cry.
Look, I told you I don't know nothing about them kitchens.
Bit of a coincidence, though, Max, don't you think? I mean, considering your track record, just the sort of job a professional like you would have been proud of, I would have thought.
Ex-professional.
Really? Then why the alias?
It's not an alias, it's me name. I changed it by deed poll.
Handy.
Oh, you know many employers that give jobs to ex-cons then. Look, I'm just trying to make a new life for myself, that's all.
Oh, you've been rehabilitated, have you?
That's right.
Only taken 18 years, off and on.
God Squad get to you this time or something?
If you mean, have I opened my life to Jesus? Well, I have, as it happens.
When you say your stepfather will kill you, Craig, what do you mean exactly? Do you think he really will kill you? Craig?
No.
What then?
You know, guess all right going over.
Is that why you damaged the car? Because you didn't want to go home?
Them lot ain't interested unless you've done something wrong.
Has he given you a going over before? What for?
Everything. Can't do nothing right in that place. Do this, whack. Do that, whack. Don't do this, whack. Don't do that, whack. It's a right nutter.
How does he hit you?
What do you mean?
Well, does he use his fists or what?
No, he's got a cane, he uses that.
What, he canes you?
Yeah.
Where?
Where do you think?
Anywhere else?
Could be important, Craig.
You see, the law allows for reasonable chastisement of children by their parents or guardians.
What's that mean?
Chastisement, punishment. Reasonable punishment.
Yeah, well, it ain't reasonable, is it?
Well, that depends, doesn't it?
Sorry, mate.
Take them back to the interview room, George.
Yes, sir.
Oh, where's Marshall?
She's got to see Craig's mum, sir.
Oh, what? I told you I didn't want him to know. You never should have come in here, stinking filth.
Now, that'll do, young man. Believe it or not, we're trying to help you. And there's still criminal damage to that BMW to deal with, remember? Organise some tea, would you, George?
Yes, sir. Would you like to come this way, please?
So,
Well, there are fresh wheels on his backside, consistent with a recent caning.
bad.
Seen worse, seen better. Apart from that.
No bruising, nothing.
No.
So, in your professional opinion, would you say that it falls within the scope of reasonable chastisement?
Well, that depends how you define reasonable, doesn't it? Personally, I think smacking any child's wrong, full stop.
Really?
I take it you're of the good old clip round the ear school, then?
Never did me any harm.
Oh, Inspector, how do you know that?
All right, well, thank you, Doctor.
Pleasure.
So, Quinnan, back with the hoi polloi.
Sir?
Never mind. Same beat as yesterday, quick as you can.
Sir.
What's up, Dave? CID giving you the push already?
Just leave it, George.
But Craig...
Look, I told you, I don't want to gain no pox young. I just want him to leave me alone, that's all.
2 T's.
Mrs. Simpson,
Oh, my God, what's he done now?
can I come in, please?
Go on. Mind where you're treading.
Paint.
Yeah, we heard about it.
Oh, tell you, did he? I don't know where he gets his brains from, that boy. Must be his father's side of the family. So, what's he been up to this time?
We arrested him for criminal damage. He was vandalising a car.
Derek's gonna love this, especially after what he done to the carpet.
Derek, that's Mr. Simpson, is it?
Oh, yeah.
How would you say he and Craig get on? Only from what Craig tells us, it sounds like your husband's methods of discipline might be a bit on the excessive side.
What? You must be joking.
Caning.
Yeah?
Regularly, as standard punishment.
Look, we are talking about the same Craig Simpson, aren't we?
Turnbull.
Oh, yeah, well, he can call himself what he likes. It don't make him no different, does it? Walking disaster, just like his father. And it don't help with you lot always letting him off with cautions and warnings and what have you.
Can I see the cane, please?
We haven't done anything wrong, you know. I mean, they still use that in some of the best schools in the country.
So your mate Telfer's on the fiddle after all?
Yes, Sarge.
Been wrestling with your conscience, have you? Wasting police time's a criminal offence, Quinnan, in case you didn't know.
List of Taylor's associates, Sarge. Those we know about anyway.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. But somehow I think PC Quinnan's chum may give us everything we need.
So, Craig.
Well, it's all depressingly familiar, isn't it? Petty crime, tension with his stepfather. His school says he's a persistent truant. Classic victim of marital breakdown, I'd say. And on the long and winding road to nowhere, I'm afraid.
Is he in any danger?
Nothing that I can see that would warrant a place of safety order, if that's what you mean.
Kathy? Anything to add, Alec?
Be nice not to see him here again.
I'll second that.
I'll put him on the at-risk register. And if the situation deteriorates, I'll look into placing him in a special boarding school.
Well, that's agreed then. He goes home.
Go. Yes, sir.
You have a Craig Turnbull here.
Oh, yes, sir. And you'd be?
Derek Simpson, his stepfather.
Yes, one moment, Mr. Simpson.
Robin Telfer?
Yeah?
Detective Sergeant Roach, Sunhill Police. I have here a warrant to search these premises in connection with certain inquiries into fraud and obtaining property by deception. Okay? Mike, you stay here.
But the situation will continue to be monitored once Craig is returned into your care. Is that clear?
Big Brother's watching you.
No, not at all, Mr. Simpson.
Look, Inspector, I'm a decent, law-abiding citizen. I've got a very responsible job at the DSS.
Clark.
I pay my taxes on time, and I have never been in trouble with the police in my life. And I don't like you treating me like a criminal just because I'm trying to stop this young person from going off the rails. I mean, for God's sake, the government's always going on about discipline beginning with the parents, isn't it?
As long as it only involves reasonable chastisement, Mr. Simpson.
And you ain't my parent.
Right. Well, I'll be ultra reasonable from now on, Inspector.
I'm glad that we understand each other.
And the BMW, another caution, I suppose.
Yes.
He could sue me, you know.
Is there anyone you can leave them with? A neighbour?
Well, there's nothing upstairs. Any place else we should look, Mr. Telfer?
No, that's it.
Well, we got enough here. Kids?
It looks like they're going to have to come with us, Skip. It's all right, love. You'll probably be bailed and back here by tonight. It's all right, darling. It won't be for long.
Oi, that's enough of that.
It's okay, Davy. I know how it is. It's just your job, right?
Yeah, right.
No hard feelings. All right. Might as well be hung for a sheep as a lamb, eh?
You have been busy, Robbie. You're looking at a lot of trouble, you know. Isn't he, Mike?
How much trouble?
Oh, prison, maybe. It's hard to say.
What do you want?
Just your cooperation, Robbie, which will naturally be brought to the attention of the court. Now, these kitchen units, I believe that you know who might have nicked them.
So that's what this is all about. Yeah, well, unlike certain scum, I don't grass on my mates.
Ah, one of your mates, was it?
I'm saying nothing.
Oh, you will, Robbie. Everybody grasses, even on their mates, if the price is right.
I don't know, Kath. It just seems better to me that it's the parents who do the disciplining rather than us in the
Sierra
courts.
Oscar to all units. Disturbance reported at flat 33, Bainbridge Towers, Jasmine Allen
Craig's
Estate.
flat.
Yeah, Sierra Oscar from 85 on the way. Over.
Sarge, how's it going?
Bingo. 2 names.
Hello, police. He's killed him.
Sierra Oscar from
The little
78,
sod hit
seen
him
it,
with
over.
this.
Go ahead, George.
Ambulance urgently required. Flat 33, Bainbridge Towers, Jasmine Allen Estate. Over.
Peter Glover, Detective Sergeant Roach, Sunhill Police. I'm arresting you for the theft of 13 fitted kitchens. You don't have to say anything, but anything you do say may be given in evidence.
And you're sure you've no idea where Craig might run off to?
I've told you I don't know and I don't care. It can go to hell as far as I'm concerned.
Stick him in number 2.
That's it. Told you I had nothing to do with it.
Sign just here, please, sir, so everything's present and correct.
Yeah. Probably lose me my job, this will.
Well, we are sorry about that. Would you show Mr. Taylor out, please?
Told you before, this is all a big mistake,
Yes,
I'm
of
telling
course
you.
it is.
Now, he's the thief, for heaven's sake, not me.
Not according to our information.
Now, look, this is ridiculous.
Mr. Messer, would you just sit down, please?
Don't worry, Alec. Taylor will forgive us. He's a Christian. Now, Mr. Meta.
So, Glover and our friendly Mr. Meta stitched it up between them.
Yes, Gov.
Not a bad day's work, what with a card fraud thrown in. Ted says you've done well. Well, cheer up, Dave. We've got nothing else on Telfer and his missus. They'll probably end up with a suspended sentence if I know anything about it.
Right.
There's a place coming up for a trainee investigator. You interested? Make a CID man out of you yet?
What, 6 months on the crime desk, shuffling papers?
Oh, yeah, but after that, pal, the world is your oyster.
Thanks, Gov. I think I'll stick with this.
That way everybody knows what I'm about.
Okay, that's enough. Take that back. Come on, back on the pavement. Move it, please. A bunch of flipping school kids, eh? Yeah. You all right, mate? Yeah. Sierra Oscar from 218, receiving, over. Go ahead. Please stand up, friend. Some joker's done a runner on the back.
OK, we'll flood the area. Where's he heading?
South Brendan Park Road.
That's 1T in Otley, is it?
Upper left
Sorry?
forearm. Last seen
Yeah, OK, I'll pass a message on to CID.
Road.
Would you believe it? We're only doing Sheffield's dirty work from now.
Could be violent. Approach with caution. I repeat, approach with caution.
Sarge, how do you fancy picking up a Terence Otley of Lyndhurst Road on behalf of South Yorkshire Police? They'll fax through the formal request.
Yeah, Sheffield wants us to nick a body for them. Any takers?
Now look, Sarge, don't land us with another job. It's New Year's Eve. I want out of here at 5 o'clock. I've got a very pressing engagement.
Same goes for you, Ellison.
But why put her into
Give it the
care?
uniform, Ted. Compliments of the season.
We had hoped to have rather more of the prisoner than a few artefacts, as I'm sure you both realise.
It's all happened in a flash, sir.
Yes, well, these things do, Loxton. Right, so what do we got? Jamie Bishop, age 19, juvenile record. Well, seems Mr. Bishop has come home.
Sorry, sir?
He served his apprenticeship on Sunhill's Patch, Garfield. Gives him a head start, doesn't it? Recent convictions include criminal damage, fraud, ABH, currently charged with theft of cheque cards and £200 in cash, not to mention GBH on the complainant. In fact, the gist of this brief statement here is that Jamie Bishop nearly killed a man. Frank, it's all yours.
Thank you very much, sir.
I'll have the profile sent round. It looks as though we're dealing with somebody extremely dangerous here.
I'll bear that in mind. So, where are the two Wallies who lost him? Hightailed it back to Lambeth, I suppose.
They said their DA would be in touch.
I'll bet. They didn't happen to mention, did they, why he wasn't cuffed in the back of the van?
Yeah. He had some kind of allergy to the metal.
Oh, really?
Oh, one good thing about this one, at least we give the paperwork on this. That gets a bit ridiculous, doesn't it? Of course, it's worse for you. I mean, I can spell.
Mrs. Otley,
That's right.
is your husband home?
Terry?
What's the problem? Terence Otley?
Yeah, that's right.
Terence Glyn Otley, I'm arresting you on behalf of South Yorkshire Police for an assault on Anthony Harris, which took place yesterday evening at the Alhambra Hotel, Commercial Street, Sheffield. You don't have to say anything unless you wish to do so, but anything you say may be used in evidence. We'll need the clothes you were wearing last night for forensic purposes.
Yeah, you better come in.
Never tried to escape before, Gov.
Yeah, well, maybe you didn't fancy the hospitality on offer.
OK, then. See you down there, then, James. Thanks.
That's the best they could do with the photo.
The wonders of modern technology. Wouldn't fancy meeting him on a dark night, eh, Viv?
No, definitely. All right, if I disappear now, Gov, I've got to go and talk to Maxine's probation officer. She was sitting on the interview.
What interview?
Maxine Davis, Gov. She was Nick drumming up custom at the market. She's only 13. I've got to see if I can get her...
sit down.
Sorry?
Just sit down, Viv. Alistair's been getting a couple more facts together, courtesy of the CPS. Now, if we're going to find this joker, and if he's still on this ground, we are going to find him, we're going to have to put some flesh on the bones. That means hobbies, interests, scars in intimate places, bad habits, tastes in women. That's the same thing, isn't it? Now, we're all hoping that he's halfway to Inverness by now, but there's one thing makes us think Mr. Bishop may still be hanging around. That is, he did most of his juvenile work on this ground, so he must have some useful contacts.
I'll see what Donna can dig up on him.
Yeah, and check out any co-defendants.
Right, thank you, sir. Gov, that was D.I. Upton. There may be another reason to believe he's still in our patch. The
The witness who grassed on him lives round here, Paula Goddard of Elcott Street. The inspector reckons Bishop could be heading her way. Oh, yeah.
That's all you had, wasn't it, Tal? Oh, I don't know. Did you put anything in here? It's all baby stuff. I know. Hang on. Here we go. Not in here, Terry. You promised the baby.
Do you want to help with the
Would you
laundry?
mind?
No.
Thanks very much.
Oh.
Cheers.
Yeah. Right. Come on, mate. We normally come equipped, you know, but like we're just a taxi service.
Don't believe this.
Look, it's okay, Ruthie.
We've got a table booked for 8. What'll I do?
Don't worry.
I haven't been out. Not in ages. Not since Danny was born. And tonight we were going to...
Look, I'll get it sorted. I'll be back. I'm afraid that's unlikely, sir. The questioning will probably take place in Sheffield. 2 officers are coming down to collect you. Sierra Oscar 577, receiving.
Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, we've arrested the suspect, Terence Otley, at the home address. We're coming back. If you could inform Sheffield, Dave.
Will do.
I mean, this can't happen, can it? We've just bought this place. We're just starting.
Yeah, but someone could have got their wires crossed up, you know. I mean, you were in Sheffield last night, were you, Mr. Otley?
I was, yeah. On business. I do a lot of northern towns. I'm a rep.
Come on, Reg.
Yeah, look, love, just get him a good brief, all right? That's the thing.
Look, get a bill right.
See him, mate. Yeah, it's Daddy. And if you have any troubles, you know, just give us a ring, right? PC 171, Reg Ellis.
Hi. Thanks.
You're nice, aren't you?
Tosh.
Yeah?
I want you to check out the area, see how hard it's going to be to cover.
OK, Gov.
Look, Gov, it's important. Once this kid gets caught up in the system, we'll never get her out again.
It's all important, Viv. And right now, this Goddard woman is first in the queue. I need someone to hold her hand, apart from Michael.
Look, I've got Maxine's probation officer downstairs now. It took me forever to sort that out. You know what it's like this time of year, Gov.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. Let's see if Munro's in a giving mood, shall we?
You had locked it.
I only nipped in for a couple of 6-packs. Then, of course, we had to go back because Christopher wanted some quavers.
You didn't actually see it being driven away?
And nor did anyone else, apparently. Can I have one?
Right, if I could have the details, Mrs. Tomlin.
Full Descal, XR3i, red, A-Reg.
I'll need the full number.
Oh, Derek will kill me. It had a Garfield in the front.
643 from Sierra Oscar.
Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
Return to base, please, Jen. CID require your urgent assistance.
OK, Dave. Looks like you're on your own with this one, Ron.
Shame.
Marvellous, isn't it? CID whistle, we run. Cheerio. I could kill Viv.
Paula Goddard?
Yes.
Detective Constable Dashwood, WPC Ackland, Sunhill Police. I'm afraid it's about Jamie Bishop.
Oh, God. What now?
Could we come in?
Thank you. I'm right at the top. It's all flats, is it? That's right. You know any of the people in them? They're empty. Are they? Well, let's hope they are. I mean, no one comes in or out. The landlord had them all out. He's trying to sell up.
So how come you're still here?
Born stubborn. Oh, go on in. Excuse the mess. Not up to much, is it? You wouldn't think I'd make such a fuss about getting out. Still, it's home. It's nice. It's cosy.
It could be very nice.
Don't say it. I know, if you had a bit of money to spend. Oh, it all comes down to money in the end, doesn't it?
The thing is...
I told the other lot all I could.
I'm afraid Jamie escaped from custody this morning.
What?
He was being brought to Sun Hill. We were going to keep him in our cells for a couple of days. We do that sometimes because of prison overcrowding. Don't get too worried. He won't stay out long.
I was just starting to sleep again at night.
Could you
move out for a couple of days. We could find you a place, just till we get him back.
I'm not going anywhere.
Well, of course, it's up to you.
Because he'd have me out of here then, wouldn't he, my landlord? He'd have the locks changed before I was halfway down the stairs.
We could have a word. Sort him out.
What, like you sorted out Jamie for me, you mean?
He wasn't actually in our custody when it happened.
Oh, well then, that makes it all right then, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. Look, would you like me to stay with you, Paula?
Yeah. Yeah, if you like.
Okay.
I'll go and check the flats downstairs. Is there access out the back of here?
Oh, you'll be able to fill me in on Jamie.
If you've got a week to spare.
We think this Mrs. Dyson might be able to help us with Bishop.
Sure, go ahead.
Thanks.
Right, what have we got here then?
Terence Otley, Sarge. Consignment for Sheffield.
Oh, lucky for you, the remand prison's done a runner, so we can process him here.
Look, I didn't throw a strop just now. I mean, well, I let them bring me in because I didn't want my wife upset. Any more upset. I thought I'd come down, get it all sorted out. So you better tell me what this is all about.
I'm afraid we'll have to wait for the Sheffield officers to get here for that, sir.
What do you mean, I've got to sit around?
Well, we can fix you up with a nice warm cell. His wife is contacting a brief, Sarge, on my advice. Nothing for you to worry about then, is there, sir?
I just need to speak to Janice Dyson.
What, right in the middle of an interview?
It's extremely urgent.
Well, couldn't it have waited a few minutes, Sarge? I mean, we were really getting somewhere. Now we'll be back to square one.
You appear to think you're a special case today, Viv. We're all in this mess together.
You had your phone call yet, have you?
No, I don't think she's going to.
Thought I was being hijacked.
Yeah, well, you are. Better get back to Maxine.
So, where are you taking me, Alistair? Quiet dinner for two.
Yeah, let's just step in here, can we?
And he wasn't here an hour ago?
They must have been plastered.
Lines to Sierra Oscar. Receiving.
Go ahead, Tosh.
Can you put me through to Mr. Burnside, please, Kath? That's just round the corner from Paula's, is it?
Yes, go.
Get the sock out there, Tosh. This could be Bishop's getaway vehicle. Let me know.
Right, go.
Gov, I've had a chat with the probation officer who dealt with Bishop at juvenile level.
Yeah?
Yeah. Seems like Jamie was the one who got away. Social services, everyone tried their best, he just fell through the net.
So what's she saying?
Dangerous schizoid tendencies, she reckons. Not developed enough to merit treatment. Like he had to try a bit harder.
Yeah. Well, I reckon he's out there right now, getting in some practice.
Nothing definite yet. We haven't got any clear prints. Still, the day is young.
Yeah.
Like me to come and hold your hand, would you, June?
No, thanks. I'm not that desperate.
They think it's a bit odd, don't they? A woman drinking whiskey makes them nervous. Men, I mean.
Yeah. Well, a lot makes them nervous.
Do you want to know about Jamie?
It might help, yeah.
Why not? I'm in the mood. There wasn't anything going on between us, if that's what you're thinking.
No.
No, I just felt sorry for him, I suppose. He'd never had a home. It was in Woolworths when I first saw him. 4 years ago. There he was, stuffing these batteries into his pocket. I mean, he looked all of 12. I went up behind him, very quiet, and I said, I think you better put those back where you found them. He nearly jumped out of his skin, honestly. My heart just went out to him. It got this little pinched face. Well, what could I do? I mean, I had to bring him home with me, didn't I?
He went on getting into trouble, though, didn't he?
Oh. He'd go off for weeks at a time. He didn't say he had a home here, not to anyone. I was kept secret.
Did you
Did you ever talk to him about what he was doing?
I don't think he could help it, to tell you the truth.
Well, of course, there are two ways of looking at that. So.
Like nature or nurture, isn't it? Who knows? He didn't have much nurturing, Jamie didn't. Only what I gave him. Too late. I had one of my own, you see, June. Only he died.
Oh.
Oh, it's a long time ago now. But, you never get over it.
No, I can imagine.
So maybe with Jamie, I was trying to fill a gap. It wasn't his fault, he couldn't. Only it sort of hurt more.
What did, Paula?
He started stealing from me. I didn't twig at first. For ages, I kidded myself it couldn't be true. Then he started leaving stuff around the house that I knew he must have got from other people. Or check cards and things like that. I could see he was getting in deep. I had to say something. But when I did, he went funny. He frightened me, June. He put his hands round my throat. Now, only for a second, mind. And then he sort of came to himself.
Oh, I should think a second was enough.
Well, I thought then, this can't go on. I mean, something awful could happen and I'd be to blame. That's why I shopped him, June. I mean, I did it for him.
Well, honestly, you did the right thing.
But he hates me now, doesn't he?
Sierra Oscar from 643, receiving, over.
Go ahead, June.
Look, where is everybody, Kath? Somebody's just tried to break in. I want assistance here, fast.
Aren't Mike and Tosh there?
They're with the dumped car.
I'll call them, but Steve and George should be with you.
Yeah, well, tell them to hurry it up, will you?
Is this your place, love?
Yeah.
You see him go?
That way.
Tosh, do you want to check the flat? Okay, Which way? Over the other side?
Yeah,
Where was he heading?
that.
Other side of the road, amongst the houses. Oh, I've been doing this all day.
He was crouched over there when he saw me. I was bringing up the rubbish.
Yeah, and you're sure he had a beard?
I think so. The thing is, he was a bit turned away, you see. I mean, I reckon I was still getting used to coming up into the lights.
Yeah.
Hold on. Without a beard. Yeah, about 5'10", 11, slim build, dark hair, and he was sort of ill-looking. No beard.
Thank you. That'll do very nicely, Miss Elliot. I'm afraid this is all we got of him. Time to dig in then, Tosh.
Yeah. Mr. Conway available, is he?
I'm afraid he's tied up for the moment.
I wasn't asking about his sexual habits.
Yorkie!
Put you out to grass, have they, Sarge?
Watch it. Holiday, is it? I thought those security jobs worked you 8 days a week.
Now, business.
We haven't nicked you, have we?
No, not yet. I'm down here collecting a body you've picked up for us.
Hey?
I'm with a colleague, DC Lane, South Yorkshire Police Sarge. Back in the job. Seems safely tucked up for the night. Give you any trouble?
No, not at all. Busy coming across as the devoted family man.
Yeah, till he gets north of Watford, then he turns into Jack the Lad.
Thank you.
OK, Mr. Baines, finished, have you?
Oh, yes.
This is one of the officers in charge of the case, DC Smith.
So, which interview room?
Oh, we won't interview till we reach Sheffield, Mr. Baines. I don't know whether you want to put an agent in up there, save you the trek.
This is all very laid back of you, DC Smith. You must be extremely confident you can get enough evidence in the time.
Sorry?
Because, of course, the detention clock has already started.
Not according to the book, sir.
Oh, yes, very much according to the book, officer. It began the moment my client was asked a question relating to the offence.
I haven't spoken to him yet.
You haven't, DC Smith, but I'm afraid a Sun Hill officer saw fit to begin investigations.
What?
It's, PC 171 Hollis, to be exact. I'd get your colleague if I were you. Time's ticking on.
If Jamie's interested in saving his skin, he'll be on a lorry headed for Liverpool.
I don't think Jamie is interested in saving his skin. I think he's interested in his pound of flesh. Burnside at 643.
Go ahead, Gov?
This be a good time for me to have a chat with Paula Goddard, June.
She's asleep now, Gov. I reckon she's had it. Sounds like Bishop frightened the living daylights out of her in the end.
Yeah, all right, I'll catch you later. Looks like Paula lives in the smart side of town. Sort of uniform out, will you, Ted?
Okay.
Do you want a coffee?
Thanks very much.
Cosy.
I like it. Feels safe. Well, it did feel safe. You had escaped prisoners on the loose.
Yeah, well, that's not our fault.
So Michael says.
So what do you know about your next-door neighbour, Paula Goddard?
Not a lot. Mind, for the 6 months I've been here, I've had to keep my head down. I'm trying to finish my thesis. The most I see of the world half the time is a passing pair of legs.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. Interesting observation post. Depending on the legs.
Well, you're quite welcome to use the place, if you like.
Well, it does have certain advantages, doesn't it, Michael? Especially now the temperature's started to drop.
He's what? Well, get him out of it. Look, I've got to talk to him, Denise. It's urgent. We've got a problem with our body. We'll have another go. Ken's legless.
What?
Got there, got plastered. He's in the bath now. She can't get him out. It's a very small bath.
We don't have baths where you come from.
Yes, perhaps you had better let the water out.
Cheers.
Sarge, has anyone left his CID?
On New Year's Eve? You're kidding.
And Happy New Year, Yorkie.
Oh, all right, lads.
Son. Yorkie! How's tricks? All right, mate. Heard you was back in the job.
You Burke! You've been talking to Otley, haven't you? Asking him questions.
Well, it's only...
You've only started the detention clock for us, that's all. So now we're going to have to bomb him to Sheffield, aren't we? Before it runs out on us. Set up an ID parade.
Yeah, well, it was only one question, like, was he up in those parts or whatever?
Oh, so you've made a note of it, have you?
Well, no, it's just a chat.
Well, Otley's brief doesn't think so.
Well, he wouldn't, would he?
When I need your advice, I'll come back to you.
It's called letting the brief walk all over you.
Make up your notes. I need a statement here, pronto. I'm taking Otley back.
Always did go to pieces under pressure, Yorkie. Still, well, thanks, Bess. I appreciate your help.
Any luck?
Nah.
Yorkie! Well, look at him. Couldn't you just eat him? Yeah, love the suit.
Oh, ignore her, she's already half cut.
You just shut up, you. I'm in a good mood.
One of us now, Yorkie.
How's things up north?
Do you fancy finding out?
One more minute and I would have been out of the place. Can you believe it?
I'm taking the suspect, Terence Otley, back with me tonight, Sarge.
I thought you might.
You don't feel able to conduct the interview on the spot, do you, officer?
That's right, Mr. Benz.
I don't have to remind you that no interview should take place in the course of the journey.
No, you don't have to remind me about that. Look, what's going on? We're on our way to Sheffield, Mr. Otley.
Don't worry, we'll be putting in an agent up there. You'll know exactly when that clock started.
Look, I've got to phone Rufy. She'll be worried sick.
It's all right, I'll phone her. Might be better coming from me.
Look, I'm going your way. I'll give you a lift to the station, yeah?
Fine, I'll tell him. Mrs. Otley, that was.
Oops, wanted to talk to her husband, did she? I suppose no one's told her.
No, Kath, it wasn't her husband she wanted.
Oh?
It was PC 171, Hollis.
It's gonna be tight.
You haven't got enough on me, have you? That's why we're going up there, so you can fit me up.
Let's just keep the chat to a minimum, shall we, Mr. Otley?
What, you mean I can't talk now?
Oh, you can talk. Just don't expect any response.
It's going to be a real bundle of laughs, this trip.
You should just about make it.
Don't wait and see, will you?
No, right.
Let him go.
Hey, mate, go on.
What's he done?
faggot, no smoking, eh? I need to go to the toilet. Come on, then.
Thing is, you see, it's been going on for a while. Didn't suit him being married. Talk about born bachelor. Know the sort. Clubbing, pubbing. That was his life till he met me. He thought his expiry date was nearly up, I reckon. Then, when I got pregnant with Danny, well, he was over the moon. Didn't last, though.
And what, he just sort of went off the rails, did he?
Oh, and how? Mind, he did usually wait till he got on the train.
Oh, very considerate.
I think he thought he was covering his tracks. Oh. Only, I knew from what his mates said, little snide comments, he hadn't changed. So, like today, I should have known, shouldn't I?
Sorry?
Well, this scrap he was in was over some woman.
Oh, he told you about it, did he?
Well, he had to. He'd ruined his shirt. Blood doesn't come out, whatever they say. Had to stuff it in the bin, it's out there now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I would have stood by him if this woman hadn't rung from Sheffield.
Oh, what time was this?
Oh, about an hour after you took him. She kept on about how he wouldn't stop pestering her and who did he think he was, and now he'd gone and bopped her fella. Only she didn't want to get involved, it was all down to me. So it's all right, I told her. I'll sort him out. I will. I mean, what kind of father's that? I mean, the thing is, Reg, he was always nice to us. Loving. But when I heard he was off to Sheffield, well, it's now or never, I thought.
Look, I'm going to have to get a statement up, you know. Would it be all right if I got my mate in?
I reckon he knew I was onto him. I could see it in his eyes. I should never have married him, should I?
Yeah, well, you weren't to know.
Like a prison term, this place. Me, the baby and all. Mortgage hanging over us. He had to break out. I mean, there's not many men like you, Reg. But listen.
Oh. Yeah, well, it's all part of the job, isn't it?
Awful, isn't it? You know what really puts the tin lid on it? I haven't been out in months. And the one night it's all settled, this happens. I've had a table book since about August. Talk about a waste.
Egg. Beef's off.
I'll be mother, shall I?
Jim, look, there'll be a cart of meters. You can clear it off then if you like. I'm gonna have to try and get hold of this witness we need for tomorrow.
Oh, you've got a witness, have you?
This woman saw it happen. Trouble is, she's a Tom.
So?
Well, she don't want to get involved. I need to make a phone call. I want to talk to me wife.
Oh, you sit down.
Look, I've got the right to make a phone call.
What are you gonna do? Wish her Happy New Year?
Yeah, okay. No, I think I've got the wrong number. Ruth? Look, I want Ruth. Look, what's happened? Look, what's going on? Hello?
Reg!
So she's made a statement now, has she? Fax it through to us, will you? Yeah. Same to you, mate. Can't even trust your own wife. Loyal to themselves, women. Right. Get some beers in, shall we?
Yeah?
Well, we're off up now, aren't we? His wife shocked him. This lot's on Ken. What about him? Why not? I reckon he's in most need.
here.
Afraid so.
Coffee?
Yeah, thanks. Do you feel better if you lie down?
What do you think? You don't have to stay here, you know.
I'm afraid it's not as easy as that, Paula.
You've done your best. Go on. I'll lock the door, put the bolt on, take a pill.
There's been a firm sighting of him in the area.
What?
The person who broke the window. It sounds like it could be Jamie.
I see.
Plus, we think we could have found his getaway car a couple of streets away. Now look, we can still get you out of here, find you somewhere safe.
I know him. There isn't anywhere safe.
George. It's okay. Got another tube. He's pulled that stunt once before.
Yeah, but it didn't come from the woman's house, though, did it?
Intruder at the room, number 195, over.
Ted. Lock your door. Michael, hang around Paula's till I give you the word. There's no occupier. All right, spread out. Watch all the exits. Cover the rear.
DI Burnside from 643. What's going on, Gov?
It's all right, June. Everything's under control. We're with you now.
You think he came back for these?
Come on, let's stop prattling about, eh?
George! George? Okay, mate.
Well done, George. You got him.
No, he hasn't.
Everyone's down there, are they?
Yeah. It looks like a full alert.
You go if you want.
Nah, they'll manage.
Still, you ought to be there. I'll be okay, honest I will. You don't want to worry about me. June?
Yeah, I'll be with you in a sec.
So who are you when you're at home?
Try his prints on the Ford Escort.
The headlight was smashed when I nicked it. You ain't laying that on me.
This operation is temporarily suspended. Don't say a thing, Ted.
You'll be able to go home soon, won't you? Got a party to go to.
Do you usually use a headset when you're on your own, Paula?
I don't. No. Not usually. There'd be no point, would there? Jamie. Jamie!
Sarah,
Yes, now, don't do anything silly. He can be very persuasive, can Jamie? You'd be surprised.
You might even like it. Paula does, don't you?
Terrible taste in music, haven't they? Young people today.
You okay, June? We've got someone, but it's not Bishop.
Okay, thanks, Gov.
Want some company in there?
I'm all right for company, thanks.
There now. That wasn't too difficult, was it? Sit down.
Sit down, she said.
They're like synchronised. It's a lesson, innit? I mean, like, never make plans, because if you do, they get scuppered.
Yeah.
I was going to go down Flamingos tonight. There's a bird down there. I'm really gone on.
What? She's like waiting now?
Oh, probably. She didn't know I was coming, though. But it was all going to happen. I knew it.
I was going to screw around with Stamp and the lads. It would have been... How long will I get?
Now, let's see. How much blood was there? I mean, like a noseful.
Oh, yeah.
And she led you on. You thought it was a meaningful relationship.
I can't say that with Ruthie there, can I?
20 years.
Maybe I can then. Oh, let me.
No, it's okay.
No, it's not me. No, it's just... I'm just, She did this.
Did she?
Feel it. It's not very nice, is it? Not very nice at all. Just about half an hour back. In there. Yeah. Well, you was out here. Watching over us.
He shows off, he does, June. I can't stand showing off. Mind you, he always did. It's nothing new, is it, Jamie? I just thought he needed a lesson. Spare the rod, spoil the child, that's what they say.
Spare the knife, spoil the...
Oh!
It's hot in here, isn't it? Ain't you wanting that, Phil? Paula gets hot.
You know you're going to have to give yourself up, don't you, Jamie? It's only a matter of time.
I didn't scream when she cut me. That was good, wasn't it?
Next he'll be wanting a badge.
But you would, wouldn't you? Hey? You'd scream, wouldn't you?
I would, yeah.
Mind you, I gave you the chance to go, didn't I, June? Go on, I said, I'll be all right. But oh no, you had to hang on. So, there's no one but yourself to blame, is there? For what happens now?
Sorry. I didn't mean to take off. It was a bit of a shock.
Oh, don't worry. I'll buy you a drink.
Thanks. I'll have a vodka. Fancy having to look after the two of them on your own?
Yeah, well, it's a challenge, certainly.
Who's with them now?
Double vodka, was it?
They're pulling out your lot, June.
Yeah?
They'll be in touch.
Oh, I think they've forgotten you.
What did Jamie steal from you, Paula? What made you grass him up?
Never you mind.
Oh, I think she should know. It's only fair, after all. I ran him, you see, June.
Oh, yeah. She ran me all right.
Gave him ideas. Because he's not got much up top, have you, Jamie, love? Not when it comes to the really big stuff. And I wanted him to have a chance in life. I mean, he has got a really nice face. Yeah, well, he has when he's not looking like that. And once he'd met the rest of the gang, he felt quite at home.
What gang, Paula?
Shut up, will you?
Got quite a few working for me, June. Kiting dud checks, nicking family allowance books, the odd bit of violent coercion, that sort of thing. I do all the organising. Well, they're not up to it, really. I mean, they're just kids. In fact, Jamie was the best of the bunch. He had a natural flair. That is, until he met Lisa, of course. It was her that made him greedy.
Leave her out.
That was when he started cheating on me, wasn't it? Lying. That's what I couldn't stand. That's why I had to tell you all lot, June. Jamie knows that, don't you? I thought he'd come to terms, but oh, no. He had to rush back here to find out. Couldn't believe I could do it, could you?
You're twisted, you are, Paula. You're all eaten up inside. I wouldn't have done that, not to a dog. I thought I mattered to you. You said I was special. You said I was like Simon.
Chalk and cheese, Jamie. Chalk and cheese.
Yeah, well, you did for him, didn't you?
No.
Poor little sod. Oh, yes. Got him right involved with the hard men, didn't you?
No.
Yes, ended up in some field with an hole in his neck.
Oh, don't you ever say that again. Do you understand me? Not ever.
You like running things, do you, Paula? Organising people being in control?
Keeps me off the streets, doesn't it? That's what I've tried to do for my lot. Keep them off the streets. Mind you, there's some, of course, that you can't help. Fools to themselves. But then again, maybe the streets where they belong. Like his little scrubber. Like Lisa.
I said, leave her out.
Very nice she was.
Yes, she was.
But I don't know many who hadn't been through her, though, do you?
No, just shut it, Paula!
I wouldn't do that if I were you. Because these days, he doesn't care what he does.
Yeah. I'm getting there, aren't I?
Of course, it's taken a lot of hard work. But I knew he'd come round to it. It was just a question of time.
Why don't you get rid of her? You could have.
Because I wanted you to do that. For me. Right, June. Time to use that radio thingy you're so keen on.
What?
Well, there's still quite a few of your lot down there, aren't there? And we're having such a good time up here. Well, it's almost a party, isn't it? So why don't you tell them all to go?
They won't. I want to come up here first. Talk to you.
Let's see, shall we? Go on.
DI Burnside from 643 receiving, over.
Yeah, hello, June. Look, sorry to keep you hanging around. Michael's been paying his respects to the lady in the basement. He's on his way up to see Paula now.
Tell him don't bother.
She sounds really pissed off, doesn't she, Go? June, I only went down there to check there was no access.
It's okay. Just go.
What about Paula?
She says there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of it more as a public relations exercise.
Forget it.
Yeah, all right, June. You're going to hang around a bit, are you?
That's right.
Sounds like you're out of favour as well, Gov.
Yeah, doesn't it?
She can have anything she wants when I get out.
You know what, Jim? I've been dreaming about tonight. I'd step off that train. Bosh. It would happen.
What would?
Life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know her.
Dream on.
I'll just get some crisps.
Sit down.
Hey?
We're nearly there. We've got to sober up. We've had a skinful as it is.
Oh, come on.
No way. Oh, well. All right, then.
From now on, everything's going to be different.
Well, things are going to be different for you, all right, mate?
So, I think we can leave now. Don't you?
Well, you won't get far.
Not your problem, June. The knife's in the drawer.
Oh, what? Where you left it, you mean? After you cut him?
That's right.
Gives you a kick, does it, Paula? To kill him an inch at a time?
Haven't got a clue, have you, June?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, I think so.
Him and me. We belong.
Oh, come on. He's not down to your level.
It'll happen.
What, like it did with Simon?
That wasn't my fault.
You did for him, didn't you? Your own son.
Get her
you
out of
trained
here.
him up. Turned him into a hard nut.
Come on, do
He ended up dead. You can't face that, can you, Paula? The fact that he died because of you.
No.
So you had to have someone, didn't you?
No.
Anyone. Make them pay.
No.
And then along came Jamie. He was anyone.
No! Now, you chose me, didn't you? I was special. I was like Simon. Wasn't I?
She's right. You could have been anyone. You were.
You don't mean that! You're just saying that so I'll get angry. You're just saying it...
And it's still like the first day after they told me he'd never come home. If you walked out of that door, I'd hardly notice. After a bit, I'd forget your name.
And that's what you came here for, wasn't it? That's what you wanted to know.
You bitch!
Yeah, pathetic, isn't it? I should have known better. You had more in you than I thought.
DI Burnside from 643.
Receiving.
I'm here, June. There you go, Bishop. All the comforts of home.
Thing is, with women, Gov, they don't drink scotch.
Yeah, I know. Anyone else want one? Cheers. Happy New Year.